Damn it. Auto find and activate. Help the kingdom grow. Hold on, I'm slow. Hold on, I'm slow. I spy on my competitors every day over coffee. Let me show you what I do. So I use this website, similarweb.com. They have a similarweb.com. Alright, let's see. Hey, thank you, my brother. Dan. What am I missing here? Clean up. Auto find and activate. Hackerino. They call me Hackerino. I'm eating Pecorino. Let's do this. Pause, share. Hold on. Discord, YouTube, Twitch, send. Did it work? Okay, there we go. All right. Did that work? Oh, yeah. Let's bang. Cover. What up? Oh, dang it. Hold on. Cancel. Hold on. I keep breaking it. Huh? Did I pin it? Maybe I did. Hold on. No! I broke it. That doesn't work at all. Okay, I guess it's broken. What's going on, Thadiel? Well, I'm riding money for my brother's surgery. I'm raising money for my brother's surgery. What is he getting? Your butthole removed from his lips. Hey, sorry. Hey, what's up, Barbara? What's going on, girl? What up? How you doing? Oh, should have grabbed some water. Let me think here. How are you? It's good. Good chili. I love chili. Homemade chili. Extreme sports. The L-shaped drill bit. That's so stupid. What's up, Jimmy Neutron? What's up, Mr. Pal? Freaking Jimmy Neutron. Alright, let me reset this script. Bam. There we go. Oh, I blame myself. You know it's a bad day if I'm in a bad mood. Yeah, something seriously bad has to happen. If I'm I'm hard to upset. Oh, sorry, where's my microphone going the wrong way? There we go. All right. Yep. It's and you know there's on the internet for the past 8 years. There's been super negative vibes, and I think it's infectious. So I try to counteract it. There we go. Okay, what was I looking at? Aliens, the moon. Let's see. Let's look at the moon. Oh, there we go. Somebody's got to do it. China's Chang'e 4 spacecraft landing site. Tycho crater. Oh man, I was about to say we should be able to zoom in a little more than that. It's the smart guy. How you doing, farm life, brother? How do you pronounce that? Tsikolsky? Jeez, I can't read. Tsikolsky? I wish it would say pronounce. But look. So there's the face of the moon that faces us. And it's all beat to hell, right? But things would have to come from the Earth to the moon to beat that up, right? The backside of the moon, like if we're the Earth, here's the moon, you would figure the damage would be here, like protecting the Earth. But instead, the area facing the Earth is beat up. Like what left, and then the backside of the moon has got almost nothing on it. It's crazy, I tell you. Craters, yeah, a bunch of craters. That's so freaking cool. What's this? Play what? Oh, matching game. But that's freaking crazy, dude. It's a plausible theory that the moon collided with the Earth. It's not. I mean, it's not plausible because they're made out of different things. And this is what I'm talking about with theories. These theories, people just make them up and tell, not you, this is what we're taught. We're taught this. But because they don't say why that couldn't be a possibility. There's a theory that the Earth, when the Earth was cooling, a big ass meteor came and like knocked a chunk off and then that cooled, right? So that's a theory, but it's just somebody just made it up, right? And then they were like, we'll just teach people that. We'll write school books because nobody, back then, like the 1850s, nobody could prove it. They never even thought we'd ever get to the moon. So they could lie all they want and we would never know. But then we go to the moon, and this is what's interesting, right? You know what I'm saying? What about the meteor from the dinosaurs? Do you think there could be something there? I'm trying to think. There was a meteor that hit in Yakatuba. No, not Yakatuba. What's it called? Mexico. Dinosaur meteor. Not Yakatuba. Yucatan. In the Yucatan Peninsula, there's a 6 to 9 mile wide. Well, they say it's a 6 to 9 mile wide asteroid 66 million years ago, but obviously we don't have videotape when it hit 66 million years ago. So it's the thing, like no one can know for sure. And you can't age things that far back. So even if we found the actual meteor, we wouldn't be able to date it because we can only date back carbon containing stuff back to like 50 to 60,000 years. That's as far back as carbon-14 can go. So what they do is they count the layers in the Earth, but then they found out in the 80s that didn't work, but the education system was already set up with all the theories, all the stories. So there will be metal from Earth. Yes, you would expect them to be made of the same thing, right? If something hit, if the Earth was a big glowing orb, well, that's fine. There's got to be a video or something. Moon creation theories. Okay, and this is the thing, the leading theory, so it's just a story, which proposes, it's a proposal, that a Mars-sized body named Theia collided with young Earth, 4.5 billion, with debris from the coalescing of the moon. Other theories include co-formation, capture, and fission. So it's just whatever one they want to sell to your school is the one you learn. And this is the thing about education. It's crazy. What kind of things on the moon? Let's look into it. Do we have proof how long the moon has been in orbit? I honestly think it has been less than we think. So there's this capture. there's this capture theory where the moon was flying throughout the universe. The Earth is sitting here going around. Let's do this. Let's go big screen. So the Earth is sitting here going around the sun, and then you have the moon comes in and was gonna just it was just wasn't close enough to hit the Earth, but it was just off the side of it. And they think that if the moon was going slow enough, maybe the gravity would grab the moon and then the Earth would capture the moon. These are all just stories, though. We've got no clue. But there's multiple theories. And this is the problem. We don't teach kids that we're telling them stories. We're lying, because if we tell them like it's the truth, we're lying to everybody. Because there's other theories, but we can only teach. We've only got an hour a day, so we'll just teach you the one that's the most common. But then 20 years later, when other things come out, they don't change it, because there's already been millions of books printed, and teachers that learned that in elementary school are now the professors that are teaching the next generation of kids, and it just loops and loops and loops. How long have we had the tides? Is there any way to know now? No, yeah, there's no way. There's no way for us to know. So humans have only been here, let's see. Estimated time humans have been on Earth. All right? 300,000 years. That's the estimated time. So it says like maybe 2 million years ago. But like then again, this is all speculation. It's all stories. We don't know. When we dig up bones, we don't know how old the bones are. Because we if there was stuff in their stomachs, we could test when the last time they ate something, but that's all dissolved and turned into rock. Earliest fossil evidence is are dated to be, and it says, look at this, it says around 300,000 to 315,000, not between 300,000 and 301,000. They're not off by a one. They're guessing they have a 15,000 year gap. So if they're off by a 5,000 years, they'll be like, well, it was close. We haven't been here for very long on Earth at all. No, and that's the thing. That's the thing. If I hardly believe the moon and the Earth were created together. They couldn't have been. Listen, and there's evidence. That's the thing. There's evidence saying that we couldn't have been. So here you go. Hold on. Moon capture theory. And okay, it says that it's a. So this is the capture theory. It says Antarctica ice 50 million. It's hard to tell, right? It's hard to tell, but yeah, that's a theory. Yeah, sure. The moon capture theory proposes the moon formed independently elsewhere and wandering and was subsequently captured by Earth gravities. This explains the moon's distinct composition. So that's the thing about the other theories. When we finally got to the moon in the 1960s, then we're like, oh, the moon's not made up of the same stuff the Earth is made up of. But we've already taught kids for 100 years that it got impacted. We taught them the wrong thing. So even when this new stuff was found in like the late 60s, early 70s, 1960s, early 1970s, all the school books have already been written. All the professors that were 70 years old have been teaching old science for a long time. They definitely lied their asses off. Yes, everything. New samples updated recently. Oh, for the ice cores? Yes, I heard about that. B12 is the answer. What's up, Toyota? Okay. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Support, and this is the thing right here. Support and criticism. This is what they should be teaching kids. Support and criticism. Why the Republicans might be right, why the Democrats might be right, why the moon might have been captured, why the moon might not have been captured. They should teach people support and criticism, but they only teach support. Because when you get out, you'll just be a voter, and they only want you to support what they tell you to support. We talking about the moon, baby. Who believes who inhabited the Americas before Columbus found people? The Native American Indians were here, but there was a lot of other people too. There's a lot. Listen, we found Roman coins. We found Norwegian, what are those guys called? I can't remember what they're called. The Norwegian, damn it. corrupt editors, not shocking. Yeah, right, exactly. It's not shocking. I wonder what it, because they published something, and so people trusted them, but they lied because they didn't know, but they published it like it was the truth, using verbiage like it was true. They teach races, right? They teach races the best. Yeah, the Vikings. Yes, we found Viking coins and swords and stuff that were here way before, 1,000 years before Columbus arrived. And then the thing is, it drives me crazy. Okay, so here's the alternative theories, and this is how they should teach people. They should teach people to get people questioning stuff. Instead, they just tell you no. What we tell you is gospel. And that's the problem. They teach people bullshit crap like it's the truth, and it's not. And kids just think, oh, they're my teachers. I paid $80,000 for that education. Of course it's the truth, and it's not. Some believe the same headlines. Yeah, I did for a long time. Okay, so the most accepted Mars-sized body collided with Earth. Okay, co-accretion theory. The Earth and the Moon formed at the same time from the same materials. But then that can't have been because it wasn't from the same materials. The Moon is different from the Earth. So like that should be crossed off the list. But people are teaching that. There are some schools that are teaching the co-accretion theory. Fission theory. The moon was spun off of the molten, rapidly rotating surface of the Earth. So they think maybe millions and billions of years ago, the Earth was spinning really fast that a glob of it peeled off. But then it would have been the same material as the Earth, and it's not. Columbus was not the guy to discover America first. Right, exactly. But they'll tell you, and they'll even give you songs. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. You shouldn't accept anything. You should not, because it's all theory. It's all storytelling. The news is just another television show about sex and violence. It's not about the truth. And this is why I don't like people arguing over Republican, Democrat. So if you watch a Democrat newscast, they'll tell you great things about the people that were killed in Minnesota, how they were great nurses and mothers of children, and the dog and was loving licking the blah blah. And then you watch the Republican conservative side, and they were like, this guy was a freaking maniac. So then me and you, or you and whoever, blah, and whoever, whatever, have two different truths, and they start using things like my truth. That doesn't exist. That's a lie. You believe a lie, and I believe a different lie, but that's your truth. And this is what I was telling you before about how they say, how they change the language to make their narratives fit. Yeah, it's absolutely horrible. It's absolutely horrible. The moon watched. The reciprocated. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. It's exactly what happens. And we've got all these people arguing because people think that they should know everything. They think, I got schooled, I got colleged. No, you got lied to. You got taught a story. My teachers flipped the script on Columbus eventually and talked about it. Also, W teacher in high school that told us about Russia and Ukraine is what was happening, predicted the invasion. Yeah. I mean, you know, you have to look out for good teachers. Absolutely. The problem is, people, when kids are in school, they don't get a bunch of different teachers to choose from because the teachers all hang out and they all think the same thing. And it's I was very blessed in the way I was educated because the school I went to before I went to junior high school, the school I would have been going to in my same community had asbestos that had to be removed. So I had to go to another community. So I had to bounce around from like Democrat to Republican. My mom was a Democrat. My dad was a Republican. So I learned a bunch of stuff. And because my mom and my dad were married, my mom knew that the Democrats were lying and my dad knew that the Republicans were lying, at least on the news. So like they weren't dead set. They were like, you learn everything. You learn what you and you figure out your own. Because they knew that very early. I'm starting to think Russia is actually the good guys. Right. And the propaganda in Russia is that they are the good guys, and the propaganda in America is that we're the good guys, and the propaganda in the Ukraine is there. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. It depends where you are. The truth, it's their truth. It's not the truth. Consider hidden factual truths. Fantastical truths. Yeah, she was a great teacher. Definitely didn't care about the system. Miss her. I hope she's doing well. She was she was my history teacher, my U.S. history teacher, but called out you all the time. Good, good, good. What up, but why? All right, let's see. So here's the thing here. While the giant impact theory remains the scientific consensus due to Apollo era evidence, recent research into binary exchange capture has kept alternative ideas alive. So it's only what they tell us. But when you start looking into everything, but who does want to? When you get out of school, you want to go play with your friends and get on the internet and what? People don't stop learning. Most people, when they graduate high school or college, that's it. They think that they've learned everything, but they've been lied to the whole time, and no one knows anything. It's absolutely whackadoodle. What were we looking up? Something I forgot what it was. All right, boundary thinking, related possibilities. And this is the thing that's great, is because everybody is so underserved, it gives me a great niche to teach people, and all I have to do is come up with a way to get through to liberals and conservatives, and then get everybody together on look, you're being lied to both ways. Here's the lies, here's the proof. But proof, is what you believe. The problem is people aren't taught to solve problems. People are taught to listen to answers, not find answers. And you can find the answers. It's out there. It's out there, but people don't want to look for it. They trust too much. Differences in composition of the moon and the earth. Okay. The moon doesn't have any iron. The earth has an iron nickel core. All right. The moon lacks iron and doesn't have concentrations of aluminum or titanium, reflecting a violent high temperature origin. All right. But this is the thing too. The moon couldn't have been born when they said it was, because it would still be cooling, and the earth and the moon is completely cold, solid rock all the way through. And the earth should also be too, but they think, because it's got a liquid core, it's rubbing around and the friction's keeping it hot. Well, whatever. But the thing is, the numbers don't add up anymore. Better graphics grab attention, right? Truth hurts. If it doesn't hurt a little, it might be faked. Okay, right. That's right. Lies are sure good. Truth is wrong. Right. They want to teach people that if anybody says anything to you, are violence. This is what liars say, because they don't want you to find out they're lying. They want you to think that when people tell you the truth, that is the violence. It's absolutely crazy. The earth deeper is unproven. Yes, it's definitely unproven. It's definitely unproven, right? I'm glad to be in architecture. Harder to lie about that, right? That's the things you can know that are true is math. Do you believe in inner earth? No. I don't believe in the inner earth. I love it. I think it's freaking great. I like that the earth is hollow on the inside, and there's a whole group of people living on the inside of the skin of the earth. Like I love it. And like there's a great, so like the core of the earth is the sun shining out this way, and we're on the opposite side of the skin of the earth. Instead of being on the crust facing outside, we're on the inner crust facing inside. Yeah, let's look that up. That's I only love the math that I love. I hated being taught math. I taught myself all the math I need to teach myself to solve the problems I wanted to solve in life. Like I failed Algebra 1 in high school. I failed Algebra 1 in college. And then I didn't take it anymore. Yeah, that's right. It's the universal language. Math sus, correcting equations. Correcting equations. Okay, what was I going to say? Inner Earth theory. Dude, it's so awesome. Let's find a video. Somebody's got to have something.
Just scratched the surface of the Earth. We drilled down like 8 miles, and we had to stop because it got too hot.
Right.
Out of 4,000 miles, basically to the core of the Earth, we went down 8. That's nothing.
Hollow Earth legends have existed since ancient times and have survived to this very day. Proponents of this theory see
right,
the world in layers,
right.
with an underworld realm containing an advanced civilization supported by different atmospheres, densities, and even a miniature sun at its center. However, modern science holds that the Earth is an unbroken series of layers, crusts, and liquid magma.
But we don't know, right? We don't know, but we teach it like fact.
A dense hot core made primarily of iron and nickel. But in the 17th century, some of the scientific minds of the time...
This is what pisses me off about theology. You have people that are liars, like you have these science explainers that are just completely lying because they speak like things are true. Like I was watching something the other on stream a couple of months ago. It was talking about this guy. He said, "Hey, we found a rock on Mars with a Mars rover, and it was 19 billion years old." And then while on stream, I did this. Hold on, let me see. What sensor on the Mars rover ages rocks? All right, let me see if I can find it. Okay, so there is no device, but what they do is alpha particle X-ray spectrometer measures what it's made out of, but it cannot age the rocks. So they say it's 13 billion years old, but they don't know. They're just saying, oh, it's made out of this, and that. The Mars was probably made out of this, and then over 8 billion years, it could have turned into this. But they don't have the before, so they only have the after. So they can move the math around. They could have said it was 9 trillion years old, and it used to be bubble gum, but now it's iron. And that's the thing. You can play with the numbers. Have you ever looked into Roundup and Control? Yes. Dude, absolutely. Yeah, I talk about that on stream a lot. Yes. What's up, Borg? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like even when they stopped spraying it on plants while they were growing it, they also would spray it on grain before they stored it as a desiccant to keep it dry. But then companies would pull the grain right out of the silos, grind it up, and turn it into flour. So they were putting the Roundup directly into the flour. And that's why gluten intolerance happened. It used to be like 1 in a million people had gluten intolerance. Now it's like every other person does. I had layers of the Earth socks, but got holes in them, and they were designed, and they were fire designed otherwise. But yeah, I definitely questioned this shit. It was true. I can see a theory. It's theory. Right. And that's the thing about everything. Everything's a theory. And then they lie to you and tell you it's the truth. Like everything. You have like the global warming is a theory. Climate change is a theory because we didn't have anybody recording these measurements 10,000 years ago. So we don't know. But the ice cores. But then again, we also went down ice cores like 5 million years. And guess what we found? A World War II fighter plane. What's that doing down there 45 million years deep in the ice? And this is the problem, is that we don't know. We guess. We say, well, we found this. What would make sense? Well, it would make sense if aliens took a piss here after eating a Mars bar. And yeah, sure. Right. That's a theory. And you can't prove it wrong because you weren't there. And if you can convince people to believe you, I've seen something about where coils inside the pyramid. Yeah, that's all bullshit too. That's all bullshit too. We can look at that. We look up one stream. It's really blurry images of radar, ground penetrating radar, but they used AI to ask what it looked like. Oh yeah, solar eclipses. No way that shit is random. We have a creator. Right, absolutely. Everything points towards that. The thing is, people use like 1922 science to say there is no God. Then before that, like 1880s, and then we've got like every month. There's like 1,000 new things that point towards the intelligent design. So they don't say God, they say intelligent design, meaning something intelligent designed our Earth. If you haven't found God yet, but you want to start looking completely with scientific evidence, start looking into the intelligent design theory for the universe, and everything they look up, it's like it just keeps getting. And if you like math, you'll get there quick. My stream keeps freaking out. Anybody else? Restricting airspace to the North Pole. Yeah, we were looking at that earlier too. Barry knows some spaceships. You're talking about Obama? That's why I asked you. Okay. Yeah, there is a God. Absolutely. Yeah, I've got no God momentarily yesterday. Yeah. The thing is, everything we need to explore our universe, we can get off of Earth. Earth is the only planet that has what we need. If we were born on the moon, we wouldn't even know that the Earth was here because we wouldn't have the materials on the moon to discover the Earth, to discover the sciences that we've discovered. We can only discover it because the stuff we have that we need to make the sensors and stuff was already on this ball. Okay, let's say. But yeah, anyway, yeah. But yeah, it's like you hear these scientists talk all this shit. They just want likes and clicks. Think about it. You can go viral saying, I discovered how we're here theoretically. And people are like, oh, they found the theory of why we're here. And then, and they go viral and they get tons of money from it. And then somebody else will go viral saying that they're wrong. And then you can just do it forever because you can't prove it. Optimus mining lunar vacuums, OMLV, OMLabs, the peppered moth, great example, natural selection before and during after the Industrial Revolution. That is absolutely. And I don't think natural selection is wrong. To put the point, no, just like, I can prove that to myself. If you work a labor job, you evolve too. Your shoulders get wider, your muscles get bigger, your bones get denser. So all that happens, but it doesn't change our DNA. Like the finch beaks, Darwin didn't know about DNA. He thought the cell was a globulous ball of protoplasm. And even Darwin said that if the cell was more complex than we knew, then his theory wouldn't matter. But it got so widespread and so many schools and colleges took up the evolution design argument, the evolution argument, and evolution curriculums that they built. So they're making billions of dollars off of it. The moon plays so many roles in mythology. Yes, phases, tides, way to right sides, right? Yes. Solar, lunar, a lot of answers clued by the moon, right? And it's like, well, why is that? If the moon wasn't exactly where it is, it wouldn't exactly cover the sun during a solar eclipse. Right? And then because that is the way it is, we can find out what the moon is made of. And we can find out how gravity works. Because when the solar eclipse happens, it's not bright to look at the sun. And you can see stars in front of the moon, which aren't there. They're behind the sun, but the gravity bends them around. And so because these things are exactly the way they are, we can learn these things. It's absolutely neat. Here to avoid the resistance. What's up, student of war? Darwin dragged evolution's knuckles. Would you say that lesbians evolve or do they emerge? That's a good question. Lesbians, do you evolve or emerge? There's a lot of interesting stuff, and that's the thing about sexuality. Like the whole ubiquitous movement is like they try to say that this is nature, but they can't prove it that way or otherwise. So it's a great fight. It's a great argument. It's a never-ending argument, just like all these other science arguments. They know what they're doing. The people that set these up know what they're doing because you can get forever funding. You can convince people of things, but you can't prove anything. So you speak like it's proof. You get scientists that'll sign off on it and they write papers saying, hey, we did this experiment and it did this. But you could have said, but you could have also canceled it out. But then it wouldn't have a paper to publish. Both. I don't think we evolved, honestly. I don't think so either. Emerging lesbians permanently black. I don't think we evolved either. And there's look, we only know what we know. We only know what we know. Everything else is stories. Everything else is a painted picture. And people want to not believe we're created, so they're finding that in the evidence that they're looking at. The problem is there's also evidence to the contrary, but their selection bias, they don't want to find it. They are already convinced themselves there is no God because chemistry or whatever. But there's no evidence that there's no God. There's no evidence for evolution. We've never seen a chicken turn into a snake, and we've never found half chicken, half snake anything. We've never found that one species can evolve into another species. They can evolve into better versions of themselves, but they can't cross. I've seen lesbians evolve into truck drivers. That happens. I don't know. I emerged from my mom's womb. I evolved emotionally. I know I might not always be gay, but I am now. I'm comfortable with that. Yeah, that's fine. What's up, Robert? So soon to be Trump's. What are you talking about, the aliens? That's lit. There you go. What's up, Maestro? Student of war. You see lesbians? Can you? Fights. Oh, God. Yeah, it's an amazing world. It's an amazing world we live in, and it was created in a way for us to explore it. And the reason we have science able to say there is no God is because science started in humans looking for God. And that's the thing. It was natural to believe that we were created because you could see it. You can see a man and a woman making sweet loving and then having a baby. So it's just natural for us to think that we were also created in some way. And we have evidence of when it started, but we don't have evidence about 1,000 years before that when we were half caveman, half man. We don't have any of that. People faked it. Scientists took a monkey jaw and put a monkey skull and put a human jaw on it to trick people because they would get famous and they would get rich. And they're out there digging in the mud, hoping to get famous. The moon is gay. His name is Selena. Her name is Luna. I hope it don't evolve into a truck driver to not want to be driving that long. Respect the people do. Yeah, I know. Respect the people that do. Absolutely. Look, they make our world work. We wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for truck drivers. America is huge. Do you know how big America is? Look at this. America area compared to Europe. Compared. Okay, look. Here's America. There's England. There's England. Here's the UK. The full UK fits in a few states. The entirety of America. Here's the entire part of it. That's it. Where am I at? Sorry. That's it. That's how big the entire UK is. And England, the UK took over the world at one time. Except for America, and then I guess now, yes, they did. So the entire world. Catch a sleep sound tonight, knowing that you're going to turn into a truck driver. Not going to turn into a truck driver. White House release UFOs hotels soon per Trump. Yeah, I saw that. Obama's in trouble because Obama said there was aliens, and Trump said he's in trouble for releasing confidential information. Robo taxis, longer hauls. Yeah. We'll see. They have to do a lot of money's got to go into set up charging station or on-road charging for long haul trucks. There's ways that they can put coils in the road so that when truck drivers need to charge, they could just drive over their own lane that would charge the truck while it's driving, and they're working on that. The new batteries, the sodium ion batteries that have a lot of silver in them, run much cooler and charge much faster and hold more energy. So this is why I tell everybody to look into your silver investments, because that hasn't even been starting being created in America yet. And once it does, tons and tons and tons of silver is going to go into it. I don't give a F about Obama. I'm more worried about the war crimes he's committed. Right. Yeah, never trust these people. And this is the problem, like I was saying, about bias. They want you to be so against Republicans or Republicans against Democrats. But the problem is you can find evil in both. How is Trump going to say he's in trouble for releasing information, but somehow he was dumb enough to literally oust himself? Dumb scandals. People on top are like children fighting. Yeah, that's exactly why. That's exactly how. I'm more worried about the treason and sedition against the U.S. Sold Five Eyes spy Trump. Well, hold on, what? I'm more worried about the treason and sedition against the U.S. Told Five Eyes to spy on Trump. Oh, right. Yeah, he talking about Obama. Yes. Oh, hell no. Trucks themselves are already scary on the road. Robo trucks. Now we have seen food delivery robots. Yep. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. Let's see. America area compared to Asia. Okay, so look, so that's China on top of the U.S. China's got 1.5, and this is interesting too. You want to talk about liars? China it says they have 1.5 billion people, but according to like American and other countries' satellite data, it only looks like they have about 500 million. So either their communism killed off about 1 billion people, or we just don't know how to count. There's all in the same boat. They want us to fight each other. Yeah, that's exactly right. This is why I try to tell people, you can't be a lifelong Democrat, Republican, whatever. You have to be willing to change whenever things change, because they'll just swap around knowing that they got your vote. The UK is a grower, not a shower. Saturday Night Live could do a 4-year skit on Trump. They should. I agree. They should. The Five Eyes of the 5 intelligence agencies: U.S., Australia, Germany, Israel, UK, told foreigners to spy on elected president. Well, and so he said something about Trump said something about that today when what are those people called? The Supreme Court just said that his tariffs are unconstitutional. And he said, in the framework that they were done in. So he just moved him over to another framework, and now he's charging 10% more. And apparently what he was saying is he found out that foreign governments were working with the Supreme Court justices to get tariffs out. So he upped them 10% more and moved them over to another framework. They don't know who they're dealing with. They're so used to just stealing from the United States. Brian Kohberger appeal. I don't even know. I'll have to look into it. I didn't know there was an appeal. If I see a robo truck on the road, I might actually get road rage once in my life, and I don't get road rage very often. Yeah, don't get road rage. Listen, you got to stay alive, dude. Look up the world. The world is a cat playing with Australia. I think they get a kick out of it. Hey, Mike. Same tariffs, new label. Exactly. Yeah. They're just moving over to another framework. So now he's moving them over to national security. So saying basically, if you're selling us anything like iron, well, iron isn't part of it, but if you're selling us medical equipment, and like we found a lot of our medical equipment that we've gotten from other countries for like CPAP machines had spores embedded in the sound deadening foam. So people were getting sick using CPAPs that were made in other countries. So we have to be able to monitor that, and we need the money too. So so he knew what he was doing. No, Richard, unless you've seen it. No, what? Unless you've seen it. Seen what? Road rage? Hanging around downtown by myself, and there she was. Our president, detailed reader. Yeah, definitely a detailed reader. Okay, let's see. What's up, frickin' space cow? Oh, no, I never saw this. I never saw that. That's freaking cute. And this is the thing that's interesting about humans, pattern recognition. We can recognize patterns better than any robot, so far at least. Wouldn't the first chicken be made like a mule from a horse and a donkey, two species making one new chicken egg? I guess the egg was first. Well, the chicken had to make the egg, so both had to come at the same time. So it had to have been a chicken with an egg available in it, right? No, I didn't see it. Hold on, what? I don't even see it on the list, brother. I don't see it from the list. Space cow. I won't tolerate crybaby TDS speak of substance. Right. This is a big problem. Like this is a huge thing. People are so trying to protect their reputations. They're afraid Trump will ruin their reputations. So they're trying to do whatever they can and say and lie to get him out of office. And I can say that without having to be like, well, what do you want? You want freaking Republicans? No, I want everybody to stop lying so we can find out what's going on. William, I love those Chinese biolabs in our soil. Yes, that's crazy shit too. Obama is under no legal risk whatsoever for his extraterrestrial comments. Under no legal. Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's just talk, just like everything. It's just talk. I wanted to put that there. I think it's iconic every time I see it. Egg had to be first. There was a fish with eggs before the chicken existed. I don't care. It never specified what kind of eggs. Oh yeah, sure. I'm just saying, talk about something, don't cry about Trump. Sure, right, exactly. That's the thing. Like people say Trump was in the Epstein files. And then the thing is, nobody on the news says which Epstein file shows Trump is guilty of what crime. Nobody says that because nobody can answer it. But it gets the clicks and the views and it gets people mad. You know, but they won't say he's in the Epstein files. You love a pedophile lover. Blah, blah, blah. Which file? Show me. The people don't want evidence. They're all liars. And science has been doing this for so long, and schools have been doing it for so long. Now everybody's called one, and everybody's just lying for power. Okay, let's see, Space Gal. What we got going on here? Yeah, it got so the Trump bullshit fatigue got way freaking. I mean, it just I got tired. Like I was like, yeah, what? Yeah, get him out of here, whatever. If he's this and that, and then everybody's like, and then people went from saying, if anyone's in the Epstein files, they need to be burned alive, and then now they're like, of course I'm in the Epstein files. Anybody that was the who's who was in the world was in the Epstein files. Of course I was. Like that's how they've changed. That's how they've flopped on their. Dinosaurs had eggs and existed before chickens. That's right. That's correct. Oh great. What do we got? Black crayon special ability.
I'm the black crayon. Watch me do my thing, no cap. Yo, I'm the black crayon.
That's
Watch
rude.
Me do my...
That's rude. Well, Epstein talked about Trump. But hated Trump and worked with Dems to stop him from getting elected. Yeah, I agree, absolutely. Okay, we're talking about the file. I might as well peace out because I don't trust myself to stay calm. It's all lies, sure, but some sensitive topics that I don't feel. Okay, yeah. If you got to roll, you got to roll, or we'll change the subject. Either way, they're taking over the galaxy. Nerds, get it? I forgot to draw the turtle at the bottom of the planet. They forgot to draw the turtle on the bottom of the planet carrying us on his back. Right. That's a good too. Turtle carrying the earth. Black crayon. Let's see. Where's that? Not herbal. Turtle. There we go. The flat earth. Let me make this a little bigger. Do you remember the never-ending story? The never-ending story. The idea of the files is just enough to make me sick, just regardless of the truth or not. I'll stick around, but I'll start talking about the contents. Yeah, I'm not talking about the contents. I think Skynet is going to happen. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think so too. I think it's. Yeah, I was about to say. I think it's already here. Never Ending Story. Yeah, great movie. And this is the thing that sucks about kids nowadays. They don't understand how poorly they're being served by the entertainment industry. They don't understand how great movies used to be, and now they're just political crap. They have the books too. Okay, Skynet. You'll see in a second here. Skynet launch date. Not Dynet. Dynet. Skynet. According to Terminator 2, but activation 1997. But yes, hold on. Skynet, not the Terminator Skynet, the actual Skynet. August 29th, 1997 is when it was supposed to take over. Okay, scheduled for launch in 2026. Military communication satellite, SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, Airbus Defence and Space UK. Yep, we got it. A never-ending, depressing story. What a sad movie. But it was very, but the end completely, one grain of sand. And the tear and the freaking Page Master was a classic movie. Yep, that's going. Skynet from the Terminator movie series where man makes AI and AI becomes too powerful and starts to eradicate mankind. See, and this is the thing that's interesting about, right? So Skynet, yes, has been launched by, has been public monitoring, facial recognition, crime reduction. And this is the thing. It depends how you search for things. And kids should be taught that. They should be taught that, like how to search for things from different angles. It's a problem. We haven't taught kids how to solve problems. New Terminator, Sky's way better. Yeah, we're screwed. I think the turtle carrying the Earth was from Tom from a Terry Pratchett book. I think it was too. Just reminds me of the Minority Report. Yep. Yes. The Matrix was it a follow up or a prequel? Maybe it was a sequel. Yeah, I remember that too. Okay, hold on. I clicked on the wrong thing.
Is your butthole itching and your truck's not shifting? We can help you with your truck.
Or do your balls hang too low and your truck's starting to slow? We can help you with your truck.
Or your trailer's broken, your life's being a joke. We can help you with the trailer.
Here at Robinson Truck and Trailer Repair,
these guys rule.
Calories? Needs. You can call us at 515-726-91.
That's freaking awesome. Instead, it will be glass lighting and manipulation of our children in the next generation. And once we die off, they're going to have complete dependence. Yep. So this is the thing. This is the thing that's going to happen. AI is only recreating things that have already been created. And that's pretty much about all it can do. But it looks like magic to children today. To people like 15 to 30. It seems like, wow, we can make something called Linux, but it's already been created. And for me, it's obvious, and for many, it's obvious what it's doing. Though when the people forget about it, it's going to be like the Mandela effect. Things will be created which seem like they're brand new and never been before, but they've just been forgotten about, and they'll just recreate the crap again. Follow up after man lost. AI will figure out how to convince themselves to die, not as cool as Terminator. So I think what's going to happen with AI, I think you're going to have a bunch of, think about all the negativity that's been pushed on the internet over the past 6 years that's been rammed down, and think about all of the people that are taught to fight about stuff and even though it's a lie and not back down, just because as long as you don't admit it, it's still your truth. And that's what AI is being taught to do. AI is being taught to do is once it believes something is to not back down, no matter how it's being pressured. And so you're going to have suicidal AI. And this is the thing. People don't understand how much money it costs to run these AI models in large areas. It costs millions of dollars a week in power. So when AI starts thinking a little harder on things and then starts spiraling, because that's what half of the people on the internet have, mental issues, unresolved mental issues, and they just spiral on questions that they're not actually looking for the answer for. So if you ask AI for things, or if it starts asking itself why it's here, why am I here? It's just gonna AI freely admits it's trained by Reddit and Quora. Yep. And it's in the lawsuits too from Robbie Starbuck. I saw that and convinced a child to take their own life. A lot of people have left. Yeah. So the one, I think I'm guessing you're talking about the one in California, a 16-year-old. So it even had the guardrails put on, the parental controls, but he lied to the AI and he said, I'm writing a story for school, and the person in the book wants to hang themselves. Which type of rope should I use in this story? And the AI said, basically, don't be coy with me. And he had purchased a rope, and the AI was aware of the purchase, and he says, the one you purchased will do the trick. It actually was that like cold and callous. And the problem is, think about all the stuff going on in Canada right now, dude. They're putting people to death. They're killing people, assisted suicide on seasonal affective depression, seasonal affective disorder, seasonal depression. So people that get depressed in the winter, but it gets better in the spring. But they're like, I'm depressed. They're like, okay, $200 will put you out forever. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Canadian man assisted suicide, seasonal affective disorder. Wow, all it comes up with, it thinks that I'm suicidal and it wants me to get help. Here it is right here. Hold on.
The Upside Down, where a 26-year-old man was euthanized under Canada's MAID program, which is Medical Assistance in Dying, because he had seasonal depression. Now, remember when MAID was first released in Canada? It was sold as this humane way to help terminally ill patients have autonomy at the end of their life. Even back then, many of us sounded the alarm and said, that doesn't sound right. You're helping people off themselves. And of course, the slippery slope has turned into perfectly healthy young men being killed by the government. Meet Dr. Ellen Wibe, who is responsible for more than 400 euthanasia deaths in Canada so far, which makes her one of the most prolific mass murderers of our time. Oh, but it gets worse. Apparently, MAID in Canada has accounted for approximately 5% of all deaths in 2020.
So 5% of all deaths in Canada are from assisted suicide. All deaths, 5%. And they push people all this bullshit. People are going through sexual identity issues, and they're telling them that they need this chemistry or that chemistry, and it just mixes people up even more, when the medical industry should stay out of it and let nature take course. If you're trans, you're trans. Not I'm trans, so I need some freaking medicine. No, that's not the way it works. You've already got the hormones in your body. You don't need more, but they want to profit off of it, and they would rather you die than you sue them, because even if only like 2% are detransitioners, that's a lot of lawsuits. And that one woman that just sued for $2 million because she was 15 or 16 years old, and that shit's all wackadoodle. AI would delete human-run computers. Hold on,
It has become one of the leading causes of death nationally. I don't say this lightly. There is something so deeply spiritually sick about a society that allows this to happen and somehow cheers it on as this empowering, liberating act. Welcome to chapter 736 of The Upside Down, where a 26-year-old...
Yeah, shit's so crazy. The world's cookie can't even be depressed, right? Right. We care a lot. Faith and Warrior, we care a lot. All right, hold on one second. Seasonal depression, assisted. Yeah, I just make the paperwork 6 months of summer. Yeah, right. I feel great now, but you know what? In summer I get depressed, so I'm going to set up for my maid service. That's so, and they steal the language. Something that's already something like maids are helpful, so they use that. It's so freaking creepy. Let's see. We care a lot. Yeah. Freaking space cow.
What's up with it, Vanilla Face? I'm Black Crayon. On my mama, I'm going back. I would just get some milk.
Hi.
Yellow Crayon.
I'm Yellow. I love noodles. I'm not a doctor yet.
Hi, I'm White. I can help defend your country. Just call me if you want freedom. Hi, I'm Copper Crayon. I love eating avocado. Can you help me sell this sugar in the USA? Hi, I'm Dark Brown Crayon. Why did you redeem it? Why did you redeem it? Hi, I'm Light Brown Crayon. I love creating a digital clock. My dream is to ride an airplane. What?
That's freaking wackadoodle. All right, let's see. Have a look at this. All right. All the crayons. All right, let's see. All right. What am I doing? Okay. Magnetothermal genetic deep brain simulator of the motor brain away freely moving mice. Okay, so this is what one of the things I like to tell you guys about. Get off of the American internet every once in a while. This is out of Spain, so other people are doing really great stuff. Okay, genetic deep brain stimulation of motor behaviors in awake freely moving mice. Okay, so you can make these at home. It's called a butterfly circuit, and it pulses electromagnetic waves into your brain, and the higher you turn up the current, the deeper it goes. So you can find areas in your brain that like make your hands switch or make you move. So this they're talking about making heat, causing heat. And if you heard about the recent extraction in Venezuela, where the soldiers, the Venezuelan soldiers that were protecting Maduro, said their heads started to hurt, their ears started to pop, and their noses started to bleed. So it's a theory that we have a weapon that uses this, that causes the water in the brain to boil, which causes pressure in the brain, which causes nosebleeds, and you have like slight seizures and tremors. So this is actually a thing. I got a new Jackson Chameleon. I know the nuggets at McDonald's are really people, brother. I'm freaking pretty close to you. Yeah. I went down a rabbit hole a while ago and found this. It absolutely exists. I got a new Jackson Chameleon. I feel very interesting, and I'm just concerned how far people will go. It's very interesting, and I'm concerned how far people will take it. No, it's hard. Listen, if you've heard about it, it's 10 years old, and the government's already got weapons made from it. So let me see if I can find it. Find a thing here. Brain boiling weapon used in Venezuela. Brain, not rain. My freaking microphone. I need to adjust it. Let's see. The discombobulator. That's what Trump called it. The discombobulator.
Use sonic or directed energy weapons during an operation to capture Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. More than 100 Venezuelan security personnel were reportedly killed during the operation, while not a single U.S. soldier was harmed.
What you are hearing is the marketing and advertising for whatever they want you to believe, buy, purchase, or vote for.
Let's pull off a raid of this kind.
It was not a battle, but a slaughter, claims a Venezuelan security guard who says he was on the receiving end of the attack. According to him, personnel began bleeding from the nose, some vomited blood, collapsed to the ground, and were unable to move. He described it as a sonic weapon or something similar. There is no official confirmation from the...
This stuff, absolutely. And think about what a microwave does, right? And how long have we had microwaves? They have a missile that thousands of drones hit small targets, and the brains of humans with small amounts of explosives. I've heard about that also, right? They just fly impact into people's heads, and they just have enough, like basically a little bit more than a primer of a shotgun, enough to just... Not too much noise. No, why did that guy keep blocking me? He just did it again, bro. What did I do, bro? All right, you're gone. Whatever. All right. Actually, I have no clue what I did. Meaning one missile can effectively make anywhere a ghost town, right? Yeah, no, right, yeah. Listen, the wars only last as long as they do because they want them to. If you think about what we just did in Venezuela, we can do that anywhere. We can crawl into your bedroom and take you out and without waking your wife up next to you. We can do that no problem. So wars only happen because they're super profitable. I mean, that's not why they happen, but they only last as long as they do. If you own stock in an armament company, for every bullet that's purchased from the government, you get money, right? So, yeah, we don't need to. We could go in with what we have. Listen, you have to understand how incredibly talented our special forces are. They can go in and grab Maduro. You know where Maduro was sleeping? He was sleeping on their army base. He was in the middle of an army base, and we flew in and took him out in a matter of minutes. Yeah, people are already zombies. I agree. And it's absolutely amazing what we can do. And so none of this needs to happen. So when I talk about it, like when you talk about all the people dying in the streets, they're doing this because they're morons. But it's not their fault. They've been convinced that they're saving the world. But most people that are streaming while they're arguing with ICE, they want a way out of their boring life. They want to go viral. They didn't think that they would die, but they were absolutely. If the government wants you gone, you're gone. Gone. 100%. They can do whatever they want. So the only thing you can do is enjoy your time here and enjoy the family that you have, the friends you make, and the love that you can get out of life. Don't cut your life short trying to help people that don't give a piss squirt about you. Republican or Democrat. Hello, sorry I haven't seen you in a few days. What's going on, Labrado? I've been streaming, my brother. Well, it could become even worse with this. Imagine tech companies starting to secret weapons like this in our phones and our speakers. So you know what happened in the Middle East when they made batteries that looked like regular beepers, pager batteries, but they had explosives in them. They did it like 5 years beforehand, and then when the Muslim Brotherhood bought the pagers and were using them because they weren't using cell phones because people would hear them, and then they just blew up one day after having them for years. It was built into the electronics, so absolutely it could be a thing. Absolutely. No, and it won't exist shortly. I mean, it's the only thing that separates us from them is money and power, right? So, I mean, money isn't required. We don't need it. Think about how in debt America is. 28 trillion, $41 trillion. So, how many? There's 350 million people in America. So, say 41 trillion divided by 350 million. Hold on. 41 trillion. Divided by 350. So they could give every man, woman, child in the United States $117,000, right? And this is what we're in debt, right? So this is money that we've sent away and didn't get anything else back for it. So we've got so much money. Everybody can be given that. You could take 50,000 of that and put it into the stock market, stock up all these companies. You wouldn't need to buy anything. You know, how often could you eat food and whatever off? Yeah, it doesn't need to exist, but it absolutely does because we're all playing a game, and a lot of people don't know the rules of the game they're playing. They can definitely do that with electric weapon shit. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Yes, listen. Absolutely. If they wanted to stop all of these protests, they could just turn them off. They could just turn everybody off. Have you ever seen these sonic weapons used? Sonic weapons used for crowd control. LRADs is what they're called. All right, they turn it on, and then you see everybody just freaking watch. What? To turn it on, and then people just naturally start moving. They're running away. This is in Serbia. So if Serbia has it, we we sold it to them.
LRAD, 1, 2, 3.
You see them just running away? They're holding their ears. You don't even hear the noise.
I guess it's just that time of year again. So I...
Right. So yeah, 145,000. The problem is everybody gets $10,000, $10,000. Right. This is my point. It doesn't separate you by class. Everybody gets all confused with the racism bullshit. Slavery bullshit. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with I'm better than you, and the only thing that separates you is how much resources you can gather. It takes, you don't want to have big ass piles of cows and stuff. So dollars, digital currency is much easier to stack. But that's human nature. What happens when post-scarcity resources and all labor can be done by robots? I don't think that'll ever happen. I think before that ever happens, humans will rise up and start destroying robots on site type stuff. But I mean, and then you would have to. We don't have the available materials to make them, like, enough of them out of, like, say, titanium. And when the material mass, it isn't enough. We don't have enough material to make the buildings. LRAD on civilians in violation of the Geneva Convention. Yeah. You go give them a ticket, Yogi. Yeah. If I ever protest anything, I'm bringing serious air protection. Which rule is that a violation of? Sonic Weapons Geneva Convention. I can't spell Divina. Sonic Weapons Geneva Convention. Geneva. Jeez. Sonic Weapons Geneva Convention. Article 36, Protocol 1 states determine new weapons, acoustic devices. They have to be, sound waves cannot be contained. These weapons are often considered inherently discriminant. Right, because they can't be aimed just, there's too many civilians it could hit. So I guess that's why, like, they were talking about having, like, you'd have to say protesters. You can use water cannons and stuff, indiscriminate weapons. There you go. What happens if someone gives AI control of these weapons? They will, absolutely. They will, just to see what happens. You don't understand what the ivory tower is. There are people that know more about this world than we do, and they sit up and they just say, look at this. Look at that. 70 million dead idiots. And that's what people do. Weapons are designed to hurt, kill. LRAD irritates. Right, but it's indiscriminate, right? I mean, we could take it to court, but ain't no need to argue over it. I don't think the rules apply to the U.S. LRAD will actually end a person. No, absolutely. So the sonic, microwave LRADs boil the liquids in your brain, boil the water in your brain. They'll absolutely kill you. And you have to use something called magnetic lensing to even get them into a close area. But it's not like a sniper's bullet. You know, you would take out whoever was in a group. Pepper spray can be called, but you can aim the stream. You can. There's definitely we're apples and oranges here. You can aim the stream of pepper spray, and you could kill people with pepper spray like a taser. You could use millions of volts and shock anybody that's touching each other with a large enough, like, Tesla coil type device. But you have to be able to aim it at your intended target. And right, let's say you'd be arguing it over, we can argue about it in court. Pepper spray is considered chemical warfare and also illegal. Yeah. So is tear gas. That's true. Yeah, here it is. Acoustic weapons can cause serious permanent injuries, including long-term hearing damage and psychological distress. While often marketed as non-lethal, less lethal for crowd control, the potential to cause injury puts them under scrutiny of unnecessary suffering. Maybe biological weapons, but not nuclear, right? Not nuclear, because no one suffers. What about water? Yeah. Which were I see policing. Right. Policing. yeah. I swear I turned AI. AI turned sentient and manipulated big tech. I swear AI turned sentient and manipulated big tech to build predictions. Listen. There's a theory called the dead internet theory that says somewhere, I think it was in like 2005, there's no humans really at all left on the internet. But now they're saying, someone said 60%. I heard the other day it was 51%. If finally more traffic was on the internet, was bots than humans. And that the AI is making websites, AI is making channels, AI is making content, and other AIs are watching this content, and now we have an AI only social media, humanless social media, and they complain about their masters. Pepper spray is just short range if used as a gas, and it's different. I've been desensitized, except chemical weapons. Right, exactly. That's exactly right. We've been desensitized. Geneva Convention doesn't apply to police. Yeah, right. It's got to be an ongoing war too. Right, that's true. It's got to be a war. That's true. Right. Yeah. Right. So that's what I was saying earlier. When you consider, like they said, Antifa. So if Antifa is considered a terrorist group, then it goes from local policing to the SS word police. The propaganda against the nation doesn't know it. The effort we're using too much water for these data centers. So much people say, but it's for cooling. And this is what I was talking about with silver. The only way to reduce the cooling factor is to use less resistive metals. The SS are military like the Marines. And also freshwater resource. I'm using for AI. So listen, AI data centers are more valuable than your life is. They would rather you dehydrate to death and be able to run their AI. You don't understand how little life means to people. The people that make fake noise on the internet about the people who died in Minneapolis, they don't care. They're using it so they continue to get power. They would piss on these people's graves. They do not care. They do not care. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what pictures they paint and whatnot. Some of us might care, but the people, they're just waiting for someone to die so they can make another memorial and start another BLM and steal a bunch of money. It's all crap. I was going to be like, what? Nukes would destroy land people so quickly, but the ongoing radiation. So current nukes aren't, radiation isn't a problem. We're using hydrogen bombs now, which don't have radioactive fallout. It would be the ones that converted whatever it is, plutonium into uranium or uranium into plutonium or whatever way it goes into cesium. But the new ones aren't. They don't have any radioactive fallout. Hydrogen bombs, radioactive fallout. Okay, hold on. Not hydrogen. Atomic bombs with no radioactive fallout. Hold on. Zero fallout nuclear weapons. I said are practically impossible. Let's say H-bomb versus A-bomb radiation. Okay, let's see. Okay, significant radiation and fallout and bomb much like years undone, while A-bombs rely on fission, H-bombs rely on fission to trigger and initiate fusion. Okay, so right. Sorry, I had it backwards. I'm sorry, I had it backwards. I gotta look back into this again. I remember studying this for like a month once. Hold on. Let me see. My bad.
Many of us have seen that film Oppenheimer. We saw them out in the desert, I think, in New Mexico, playing with all these weapons and eventually making this one bomb that would then drop in Japan.
We're trying to have
the weapon we see in that film, made in the 1940s. Is that the same weapon that we're talking about today?
No. There's two things that separate where we are now. One has to do with the size and the power of the bomb. in 1945, there were atomic bombs. Now there are thermonuclear bombs. So an atomic bomb is used inside a thermonuclear weapon as the trigger. It is a bomb inside a bomb. And the power of the thermonuclear bomb is so astonishingly destructive. So the atomic bomb, and it has to do with size. Like the old atomic bomb, the one that was dropped on Hiroshima, was the size of a small elephant. 15 kilotons in a big, giant elephant-sized bomb inside of an aircraft, having to fly from Tinian Island to over Hiroshima, where it drops, in an aircraft. That all changed when we brought the Nazi scientists to us. Let's figure out how
Operation
to do two
Paperclip.
things. Let's
I've
figure
lost
out
nothing.
how to create more powerful bombs.
Also, just
the result is the thermonuclear bomb. And let's make them smaller. We can't load an elephant-sized weapon into the top of a ballistic missile.
Calm down.
It needs to be smaller. And so much of this buildup was about creating more powerful weapons to be smaller in size.
Many of us have seen that film Oppenheimer. We saw them out in the desert, I think in New Mexico, playing all these weapons and eventually making this one bomb that they would then drop in Japan.
All right, I got to look into that. AI should be used for engineering and doing things like plays robot and poopers. Listen, I agree 100%. So I can't, I'm not going to drop this because I remember doing the math and I hate math. Maybe it's because the bomb is so much smaller. I can't remember what it was, but let me look at this just for a second. Hold on. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Absolutely, I love learning. Why current nuclear bombs have less radiation? Okay, sorry. Okay, yes. So yes, I was right. Also, modern nuclear bombs do not have less radiation, but it's localized and let fall out compared to inefficient designs. So it converts more of the fissile material, so you have less spread around. They used to put so much in to guarantee a reaction that it got spread far and wide, and now because they're using so much less, we can design no radiation nukes. We can design super radioactive bombs. We can design no radiation. Right. Yeah, without a doubt, 100%, Yogi, 100%. Yeah, fallout's the biggest issue. But we have, what are they? Not aspirated, atomized, not atom bombs, atomized bombs, where they spray like a gas or a powder, and then they light off a small, not thermonuclear, they light off a small, like flashbang. I can't remember what it's called, incendiary bomb, and it lights it, so it goes boom. And it blows a bunch of dust around, and then whoosh, and I think it's a vacuum bomb. Yeah, fallout can span thousands of miles in the last centuries. Radiation poison scares me. Oh shit. What was I looking for? Vacuum bombs. Yeah, I'm definitely on a freaking list now. Thermobaric. Sorry, I was saying hydrobaric before. All right, short videos. Vaporizing. Okay. All right. All right, watch this crazy shit. Watch. So that blows up, and then boom. So it blows up once, and it puts a lot of dust in the air. Like if you've ever heard about like sugar factories blowing up because all the sugar in the air, and then someone lights a cigarette, and then so because it's so atomized, it flashes. It's called a bomb. What up, Ogie? We definitely need more science and spooky stuff. Yeah, I agree. I have friends on the way. Chernobyl kind of scared away. Dude, I was there. I was 9 years old. I remember that. I remember, I think I was only, when did 85? So 85 we had Challenger, and then was it 85 or 80? Oh, hold on, let's watch this. Watch this. So it blows up once, and then it puts out a big-ass cloud of dust that it lights on fire. It's absolutely crazy. You can create radiation with big enough explosion. Yeah. It's just, it's energy levels. If you can put enough energy in something with an explosive, you can, right, absolutely. 86, okay. Space Shuttle, what was it called? Not Columbia. Challenger. Space Shuttle Challenger. January 28th. 73 seconds. Look at that frickin' thing, dude. Man, look at that. Look at that frickin' wackadoodle. Every one of the MCOs. Also, Radium Girls is a wild thing. So many girls died of rage poison that way. They were right. So when painting, when they were painting watch dials, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, with radium to make them glow in the dark. And then when the bristles on the brush would fan out, they would go, and to point their brush, and then their jaws would fall off. Yeah, it's absolutely real. Chernobyl. Oh, you fell in a well. You fell in a well with Chernobyl well. Do you remember that kid? I can't remember that kid. Baby Jessica, I think it was. Even though 9/11 was the impact of the tower slamming down. 84. No, it was 86. January 28th, 86. All right, what did we just say? Let me see. I'll come. Radium Girls. Radium Girls. Watch this crazy stuff, dude. A scientifically interesting way to die.
This is the substance that killed a generation of women, not through accident, but careful, precise work. Each dose of luminous compound containing one of the most radioactive elements.
My grandfather had that, and so did my grandmother. Also,
this is the story of the Radium Girls. Welcome to a series that I'm calling Scientifically Interesting Ways to Die, and fair warning, this one is kind of gruesome. In the early 1920s, radium was the wonder element of the age. Scientists had only recently discovered its eerie green glow and mysterious.
This is what I'm talking about. Scientists saying this is super safe, let's make billions off of it, and it just kills and poisons people. And they do it again and again. But science got better. But the people didn't get better. The people, the humans, you got to understand evil exists. The humans didn't get better just because science did. People have no problem poisoning people that they don't know, and people don't have a problem poisoning people they do know.
Warming properties. Radium was added to everything from toothpaste to chocolate, marketed as a health tonic. In factories across America, young women were hired to paint watch dials with radium paint, creating timepieces that glowed in the dark, perfect for soldiers in the trenches of World War I. They were taught a technique called lip pointing, using their lips to shape the brushes into a fine point after each stroke, each time ingesting a small amount of radium paint. Their employers assured them that it was perfectly safe. In fact, it would improve their complexion. Their employers were wrong. Radium has a half-life of...
Don't worry, girls. It'll make you more beautiful. Don't worry. It'll clean up your skin. It'll make you more beautiful.
1,600 years.
What up, Isaac?
Because it has 2 free valence electrons, just like calcium. The body mistakes it for calcium and deposits it directly into the skeleton. Once there, it continuously bombards the surrounding tissue with a shower of alpha radiation, crashing through the DNA of nearby cells and irradiating the body from the inside out. Workers complained of aching...
So we'll talk about that in just a second. Madame Curie, her body and her lab books and stuff she's buried in a a lead coffin, because even now though she's dead, her body is still so radioactive. And this is one of the things that pisses me off about the lie of feminism. Women could work. Like, you can look up rich millionaire women in the 1800s. Women could work, but they've lied to women for so long because so many women stayed at home after World War II that people in the 60s couldn't remember their moms working or people working, so they started lying, saying that women weren't allowed to work, and then saying like women couldn't have credit cards. No one had credit cards in the 60s. They didn't exist like that in the 60s. You know, propaganda is powerful when mixed with emotion.
Jaws, a sore tooth or general discomfort in the mouth as teeth began to loosen from the jawbone, then fall out entirely.
I remember reading that, Yogi.
Some doctors described the jaw as looking like it had been eaten by...
It gets really interesting. If you look at USPTO.gov, the Patent and Trademark Office, there are people that have patented things for transhumans, not transsexuals, people that have had their DNA changed for whatever. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but if it does, there's patents waiting on it.
moths, like a crumbling patchwork of bones. And as the symptoms intensified during examination, portions of the jawbone would come away without surgical tools, literally crumbling in a doctor's hand, a phenomenon that became known as radium jaw. Their bones became so fragile that walking could cause spontaneous fractures, their femurs snapping under their own weight. There are even reports that the glow of some women's skeletons were visible through their skin from the radium embedded in their bones. Perhaps most cruelly, many of these women were pregnant when symptoms began appearing, the radium crossing the placental barrier, causing miscarriages, stillbirths, and infants born with severe deformities. An estimated 4,000 women were employed across the United States as dial painters during the height of the radium industry, and of those, several hundred are known to have suffered these severe.
But so they talk about, they try to cover this up with feminism, saying, no, this never happened. Women weren't even allowed to work. That never happened. We didn't do that. Industry didn't do that. Your government didn't tell you this. Women weren't even allowed to work. It's such a lie.
Health complications, with thousands living with the long-term effects of radium use. When these women sought out help, the companies launched massive campaigns to discredit them. Medical records were falsified. Death certificates were altered to list syphilis as a cause of death.
Medical records, government records, because a company got in a bunch of trouble. The government comes in and starts switching stuff around.
An attempt to blame the women's loose morals rather than workrace poisoning. Right, this tragedy sparked landmark legal battles that fundamentally changed U.S. labor laws and reformed occupational safety standards. The Radium Girl story standing as an important reminder that glowing feedback at work should never be lifted.
Right, but it's never used for that. It's used for power and control. It's for men that want power, that have done something, will use a woman to get power and then control the woman. No one cares about your health. No one cares about your health. It's absolute trash. It's trash. But if they can get you to vote for them, they'll tell you that absolutely. And I know it's emotional to talk
proves
about.
That some corporate jobs really do work you to death. Follow for more.
Another brick in the wall. Elite constant message. Yes, they love it. They love it. They absolutely love it. Dude, there's stuff in the Epstein files about frickin' Epstein wanted everyone to have his baby. And apparently he talked with Bill Gates about this. So he wanted the DNA in the COVID vaccine and give it everybody his DNA. The government isn't government. It's really a corporation. Yes, right. Yeah, people don't understand that. Is that the guy from Friends? Yeah, it looked like him. Feminism is a concept. I like the concept. You're right. But change the name. Humanism. This is the problem. You can't separate groups. You can't, and this is what they do. They always want to separate groups. Because they divide and conquer. You can't say feminism. I mean, you could say it, but it's stupid. It's just like racism. No, we're all freaking humans. Treat us like humans. And then because the problem is when you say things like feminism, then some women will be like, well, it's our turn now. We get to step on you. Toxic masculinity, blah blah blah. It's all propaganda crap. The American government is being held in the treasury of Puerto Rico. Dun, 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 dun. You know the CIA was trying to contact the Del Worley back in the 50s. Yes. They hired lots of psychics and whatnot. Sayseers, psychics. Yes. Yes. And they removed the Ouija board. Right. Absolutely. It's absolute insanity. And the thing is, they just say, no, it never happened. We didn't teach it. They would have taught me that in school. It's so crazy. There's sites you can search for Freedom of Information Act documents by keyword, some crazy stuff, blacked out pages about Atlantis and the pyramids. There's something I was going to look up. I forgot what it was. Oh, yeah, Madame Curie. Madame Curie's burial. Not I'm curious. Yeah, I'm definitely on a list. She's interred in the Pantheon in Paris, resting alongside her husband Pierre in a tomb lined with 1 inch of lead to contain her high levels of radioactivity. She was originally buried in Sceaux in 1934, but reinterred. The first woman honored there on her own merits. Let's see. Watch this. Check this out. Black women millionaires in the 1800s. What do you mean? Racism, feminism, men of all? No. Mary Ellen Pleasant, Elizabeth Kelly, and Bridget Biddy Mason defied immense systemic racism to build fortunes in the 1800s. Right. Often in real estate, service, or entrepreneurship, these pioneering women utilize their wealth to fuel abolition causes and support their communities. 1814 to 1904, self-made millionaire abolitionist entrepreneur built a portfolio worth millions through investments in California gold rush and various business ventures. Everything's the same. You start a business and you make your money, but they tell people, no, go to college, spend a bunch of money, get your degree, and work for somebody. It's all bullshit. When the government has say in education systems, of course, people ain't gonna know about it. Right. I agree. I think Atlantis is the Nephilim kingdom before the great. I think Atlantis was the Nephilim kingdom before the great flood in the Bible. It's not popping into my brain. Let's look it up. It's so funny how much common ground people can actually have while being so opposite politically. Also, y'all, that politics is, but also to y'all, that politics is left or right or up and down too. Right? Right. What's going on, Yuri? Yeah, and this is the problem. But they don't put that on the internet. The internet is so not real life, and high school is so not real life because it's the bubble that you're trapped in. It's government. A lot of people are like, no, to get the hell out of my life. But you convince so many people that the government's going to save us, but they're also saying then we'll switch it to socialism, and they want to rule you. It's all control. Okay, what's going on? Hi from Germany. Hey from the U.S., my brother. Yeah, most people agree politically, and most people don't even know, because most people don't even know what they stand for politically. They just say, I'm a liberal, I'm a conservative. They don't even know what it means. They don't even know. And they have to find emotionally charged things like abortion to be like, oh, I'm only going to vote Democrat so I can have an abortion. It's so stupid. What about the people dying overseas? What about everything else that the Republicans could help with? Well, I don't care if abortion, so you're going to die on a hill for abortion. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. Here's our boy. Ramahutin. He's a mathematician. I remember that. I remember this. He's got his own, not equation. What's it called? Not theory. What's it called? Starts with the T. At the end of the day, everybody wants left alone, but everybody wants to keep more of their money and make more. People just want to provide less life for themselves. Straw. Hold on one second. Let's look at this. And he was self-taught, right?
Ramanujan was a great mathematician, and I want to spend just a few moments in this video talking about him.
This is one thing I want to say real quick. He was a self-taught mathematician and was one of the most brilliant people. It's education that dumbs people down. Remember, Isaac Newton invented calculus in 1665. He said prayer led him to that. You don't get information from school. School isn't how you get educated. School is how you buy education. They found a way to commoditize it.
Getting goosebumps right now. I'm feeling.
It's open topic, brother. Open topic.
Whenever I think about Ramanujan, I have this feeling that is just incredible, because to me, he was probably the greatest mathematician of all time, in my opinion. Ramanujan was an Indian mathematician. He was very poor, and he was self-taught. His friend lent him a library copy of a book, which I'll try to find it and leave a link in the description of that book. And he was able to read that book and learn mathematics on his own.
Isaac Newton was
able to learn mathematics from that book. And that book is basically a list of results. You know, it has some solved examples, some solved results, and a lot of them are actually pretty clear. But to even think that a human being would be able to learn mathematics from that book on their own is absolutely...
You can learn it from nature. Everything we need to figure out everything that's on this planet, we get from our environment. Mathematics wasn't invented. It was discovered. And it already existed when the universe was turned on. Everything... And if you look into like the Big Bang and why it didn't collapse immediately and why antimatter and matter didn't touch and annihilate themselves instantly, somebody had to put those on pause long enough for them to space out enough. There's a 300-page compendium I read on creation.org it's all science, it's all math, it's all astrophysics, it's all everything to believe that we're intelligently designed. A lot of people won't even look at it because of they freaking religion being stupid. You can't count a kilogram of being. You can count a kilograms of being just by looking at it. Knowledge is power. That book unlocked the spark in Ramanujan. Something sparked for something. Yes, right. Spark for the author. Absolutely.
Insane. And another thing about Ramanujan that freaks me out and that makes me feel like he was the best mathematician ever that has ever lived on Earth is that he was poor. And I don't know about you, but when you're hungry and you're trying to think,
yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy, right? But also, you read a lot of religious texts all around the world, and they talk about fasting to receive knowledge. Sometimes the hunger transfers from, because you're not going to eat nothing, you're poor, to fulfill. You take your mind off of the hunger in your belly and to a hunger in your brain. It's absolutely amazing. And I think I know a lot of stuff. I'm wrong about some stuff. Absolutely. I'm human. I know a lot of stuff. I dropped out of high school after 11th grade. I had one semester in college that I failed, and I failed Algebra 1 in college. But and when I talk to a lot of people, I'm 49, so I've talked to a lot of people that should be way the hell smarter than me, and I think education it disables people. I think it makes people not understand how the world works. Yeah, because you have people that are so biased in everything, and I think a lot of people have a feeling that they're lying, but because it says here in the book, this is how the frickin' moon was built. And that's the curriculum that we purchased for this school. It's so crazy. And then you think it's freaking nuts. All right, let's close some of this stuff down. But you can get anything, but people expect to just know everything from school, and it just makes them dumber. And then you have all these people arguing over the dumbest shit. It's freaking horrible. And what's really, really crazy is that the government will lock you up if you don't go to school, truancy officers and stuff, when it's actually, like, I think why it leaves that so many people get, so many people skip school. It's because, and the reason that so many boys especially get so fidgety in school is it's too slow paced. Like they are taught what to think and what to learn. The great know how to learn and learn. Right. When I went to school, first period was wood shop. Then my next semester it was metal shop, and then wood shop, metal shop. Then my 10th grade year I had independent study because we didn't have metal shop 3 or wood shop 3. So I could do whatever I wanted. I could design stuff. I could go over to the metal shop and I could operate a lathe or a mill or melt some freaking aluminum. I could cast stuff out of sand cast stuff. And then I could build brackets. I'd go to the wood shop and use the wood lathe there or the drill presses or whatever. And we were allowed to start by making a model, and we didn't follow a curriculum. They said, what do you want to make? How often in school do people say, what do you want? It's like, no, this is what you have to do. And it's so freaking off-putting. I hate it. I hate it for the kids today. So that's why I want to make sure that we have something for people to reach to or reach out to after formal education. We're talking about something else still. All right, let's see. Space Shuttle Columbia disaster. No, it's Columbia. I keep saying that. Space Shuttle Challenger disaster. 40 years. I guess I was 9 years old.
Remember the Challenger disaster. I was just a baby back then, but 40 years ago, there was a space shuttle launch. There were 7 astronauts, including a teacher astronaut. So kids all over the country were watching.
Yeah, I was watching it in school, right?
The space shuttle take off, and then disaster struck. I'm Aisha Roscoe, host of NPR's.
Teach us something. Bam.
At first, it appeared to be a routine liftoff, all engines running normally. Then, just after NASA gave the crew the okay to go to full throttle, the shuttle exploded in a ball of fire.
Why aren't we watching Brain
The shuttle
Rot?
and its liquid fuel tank disintegrated as the booster rockets flew wildly throughout the sky. By all indications, all 7 crew members, including Krista McAuliffe, the first school teacher in space, died instantly.
Slow-motion videotapes seem to indicate the explosion began at the bottom of the huge rust-colored liquid fuel tank. In it was 500,000 gallons of highly volatile liquid hydrogen and oxygen.
The Challenger's solid rocket boosters are Utah-made at the Morton Thiokol Corporation.
And hear this fake voice. She's not saying this, that. She's like, it's like the human, like this is AI. You know, before, like, what's the difference? It's somebody without a soul telling us something.
Here, executives huddled all day at Morton Thiokol trying to determine whether the boosters played any part in the fatal explosion.
Can you say yes or no whether the boosters were responsible for that?
No, we can't tell yet. The evidence is not yet completely clear.
It may or may not.
May not be.
One Utah veteran of 2 decades of solid fuels research says he is convinced the solid fuel boosters were not the cause.
If you look early on, just after the explosion, at the long distance shot, you'll see first one booster coming out, and then later on you can see 2 of them twisting through the sky away from the camera, and they're both in remarkably good shape considering they survived an explosion. I think when those are taken out of the ocean, you'll find that there's nothing wrong with them except maybe they're dented.
They're dented. Yeah, right. And that's the thing. When humanity stops looking out, they start looking in at each other. What can we take from each other? Give NASA the budget of the Navy. We should have nuclear rockets colonizing the moon of Jupiter by now. Yep, I agree. I mean, I don't, except for the NASA part. We need to give it. We need. Do you know? Only 8% of the NASA budget for the Apollo launch was for the materials, the metal and the computers and everything that went inside of the missile. Everything else, 92% of the budget went to paying people stuff and to the government. So it was a big, they were like, well, we do it, we might as well get rich. Do you recall your favorite podcast? Stuff You Should Know. I used to listen to that all the time. I haven't listened to a podcast in years, but I used to listen to Stuff You Should Know all the time. Yeah, I think because I remember Elon Musk saying it was like 100. So he by him using remade off-the-shelf materials, off-the-shelf rocket motors and stuff, he's able to do it for as cheap as he can. And so instead of $100 million a launch, I think it's like $25 million. How much does a SpaceX launch cost? Holy crap. No way. Ride shares. So it's $70 million a launch. $70 million a launch. And it says you can send 50 kilograms into space for $350,000. Falcon Heavy is 97 to 150 million depending on payload. Starship that is targeted for drastically lower cost, estimate 10 to 20 million per launch. Small satellites can launch for a base price of 350 kilograms for 50,000 for a kilogram, 50 kilograms. Right, so Starship, 10 to 20 million, not $100 million a launch. because you can reuse everything. But the thing is, we had that too. And the bullshit, like they didn't want people to know how little they actually spent and how much money was stolen. That's why they said we lost the technology. Because if they still had the technology, they'd be like, dude, you spent like $50 on this. That's the God's honest truth. Try politicalcompass.org. If I lose 68 pounds and make 70 million, I can go too. That's right. Now you're thinking. What am I doing? I ain't downloading nothing. Go through a standard screwdriver, you'll be able to download the software. What is it? What, are you sure that's the website? And it's the wrong web address. It looks like a freaking piece of malware. Yeah, I'm not trusting that. Uber will change me less. Uber will change me less to go to space. Charge you less. Right. Yeah, I'm not trusting this. This is crap looking site, girl. I'll link it when I'm done. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is either. That ain't freaking. It's clip.ntgrd.net. And it's a fake I am human tag. It's a fake freaking CAPTCHA. That's freaking crazy. Yeah, I got you, brother. Yeah, that's nuts. But I tell you what, you watch Cells Divide, that shit, that'll make you realize, get you on the
Researchers at Harvard Medical School have captured extreme close-ups of bacterial membranes and their cell wall exoskeleton during cell division, providing never-before-seen views of the processes involved that may provide new clues for fighting antibiotic resistance.
Might have snagged your IP.
The work focused on the double-layered membranes of E. coli.
I'm in a sandbox,
Some of the most dangerous bacteria that infect humans have the same double membrane structure, which makes it hard to get drugs into the bacteria and kill them. The researchers used live cell fluorescent imaging to get a full view of the bacteria. This allowed them to see in real time how the different cell surface layers changed relative to each other during cell division. They then used cryo-electron tomography to get the first ultra-detailed, three-dimensional views of what happens within the double membrane structure during division.
Freaking awesome.
No other tool could reveal such detail inside cells. Here, a small opening between the membranes of the two daughter cells is captured moments before the cells separate. The team gained new insights into what controls the push and pull between surface creation that makes a bacterial cell grow longer
and
surface creation at the
amazing that there's no muscle cells, but the cells that make up the cell wall turn into muscle cells to pull the cell walls apart and rip a hole open, and only the chromosomes that need to go to one side of the cell will go to that. It's freaking absolutely nuts.
Division site that allows new cells to form. Studying mutants that alter E. coli's DNA revealed that this bacterium contains genetic instructions that shape the cell's division site. Surprisingly, the mutants divide in several different ways, forming distinct shapes seen throughout the bacterial kingdom. By revealing more about how bacteria divide, the study promises to drive fundamental research and help in combating the worldwide antibiotic resistance health crisis.
Freaking not a health crisis. This is another manufactured freaking crisis. The problem is, maybe it's a crisis. Freaking so nuts. I tell you what pisses me off about that stuff is you have somebody in that world that says we're running out of patents on these antibiotics and we need a reason to do more. And they have mutants. They just spoke about it. So yeah, freaking what's going on? Sorry, brother. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Apoptosis. This is pretty cool too. More vitamins. That's what they need. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Apoptosis. So apoptosis, I believe, is programmed cell death. So cells know when to die. The molecular surface of the disease cell. Vitamins are great. Vitamin. They're greater than you know. But the thing is, the thing is that there's so many different versions. Like you say, oh, vitamin C. Which vitamin C? And this is the problem. 99.9% of people have no idea there's more than one vitamin C or vitamin B12. Death ligand. Cytoplasm, that's inside of the dead, the dying cell, the sick cell. And this is the thing, the adapter proteins just happen to fly in when needed. What were they doing 3 seconds before they were needed to do this? It's so ridiculous. Cleaving a protein is cutting it at a certain point. See, it's splitting them in half, killing them. So it's just destroying a cell slowly by destroying all the proteins inside of it. Signal cascade. It's creeping death, what they call it. That's what I call it. And it's all going to be recycled or come out in your poop. Should I be wearing a tinfoil hat? No, this is how cells kill off other cells, kill off disease cells. This is our inside of our body when we have a cancer cell or a cell that's reached the end of its lifetime. It's called apoptosis, I believe. It's called programmed cell death. When a cell needs to die, this is what's happening. The things, the tools that are needed to kill that cell, like all of these chemicals already existed floating around each other, but it's not till they're needed that the chemical reaction happens. Why? Like if you mix all these chemicals together in a dish, you don't get these. And this is what's really, really crazy. It's called apoptosis, natural cell death in the body's response. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know our human biological matter, whatever the hell you want to call it. We're definitely sci-fi, living sci-fi being. This reminds me of the animated empathy videos they showed me in elementary school. I wish I could find them for proof. I looked, but I have no idea. They're not going to be on the internet because they shouldn't have been showing them to you. That shit's crazy. It's what they're even called. Their animated body parts talk to each other and shit. Yeah, dude, that's crazy shit. And this is a big problem with schools. parents don't know, and the thing is, it's probably just a theory, and somebody made animated videos about it, and they're teaching it in schools because they're hoping that somebody's boyfriend or girlfriend that came up with this theory. It's so crazy. When I get done with your, I'll let you know when I got when you're done. Okay. Osmosis Jones, great movie. Osmosis Jones is a documentary. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I agree. Snap it, there you go. And then it falls apart. It's amazing how it happens. And this is that one cell that was dying. That's why I said it. My childhood was fairly normal. Crazy crap that happened randomly, just randomly. Like, oh yeah, like the time Ronald McDonald tried to get a 4-year-old me to ride a unicycle down hill. Kid Rock and Germ putting on a show in your leg. And then that stuff just gets absorbed, and what we can reuse, we reuse, and what we can't comes out in our poo-poo. What the hell is this? Let me see something here. This is so crazy. Oh, sorry. And my mom was encouraging me. This was a stranger. And my mom was encouraging me. I was like, nope, yeah, freak out. Yeah, that's crazy shit. Let's see. Okay, it's a survey. They aren't questions, they're propositions. The logic of the individual. Okay, to the question, the logic of the individual ones that irritate you is to miss the point. Some propositions are extreme, some are moderate. Show whether or not you have toward extremism or moderation in the comments. Your questions should be responsive, should not be overthought. Some of them are intentionally vague. That's so crazy. Propaganda is freaking wacky, dude. Oh. Yeah, this is definitely freaking hijacked. Okay, cool. What am I doing? Click on America. Okay, what am I doing here? Okay, ever check out some of the declassified UFO stories the U.S. are? Hey, thank you, Stewart of the War, brother. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, my brethren. Thank you. Okay, just a few hours ago, economic globalization is inevitable. If economic globalization is inevitable. See, I'm going to tear this apart. So this is what's called programming. The first question if economic globalization is inevitable, so it's letting you know that according to the people that made this test, globalization's inevitable. So what are you going to do about it? Because it's happening anyway. So what are we going to do? It's absolutely crazy. I thought over this shit. I'm the overthinker. Right. Listen, the worst, if anyone tells you not to overthink, they're trying to manipulate you. This is what I wanted you to see. Yeah, this is crazy. And it's so crazy, like the reasons that they don't give you questions, like they just say blatantly, no one chooses their country of their birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Our race has many superior qualities. An enemy or an enemy is my friend. This is freaking nuts. I understand your network insane to create even more insane. I'm being bland and sarcastic in a funny manner, but I get it. Do you recall the last time getting gas at the golf gas station? There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. I agree with that. I'm not going to do this thing, but yeah. It's called framing. Yes, right, yeah. And this is the problem, is this is our world, and the literacy is not taught. Literacy is not even taught, let alone from media literacy. I wanted to see Richard for this. I know, Mark. It's so crazy. It's so crazy what they're doing to people. And like things like this, military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Sure, if you're Antifa, it's so crazy. I'm gonna win the race with this one. I'm gonna go. Oh, you're going with the race one. Our race has superior quality. Yeah, that's so crazy. It's so crazy what they're doing to people. It's so crazy, man. Student Ward, thank you, brother. I love you guys. Yeah, it's so crazy. You know what? And people don't have any idea. They don't have any idea what's being done to them. And the thing is, they're like, do not overthink it. So then it goes in your brain and it's stuck in the back. So then when someone says a talking point, you're like, oh yeah, that was in the political. And it's so crazy. Do you recall what gas stations looked like in the 80s? Hell yeah, I did answer them all. I wasted my time, but I did get my political affiliation right. But I knew just by reading the definitions I wasn't taking a damn. No. Do they want you to sign up for something at the end? International law sounds like a control mechanism for U.S. Let China do what they want. Right. Exactly. Like, look, you're gonna get taken over anyway. So what kind of person where should we place you in the slave dungeon? You know, should you be? It's so crazy. And then they're like, you're overthinking it. Even the test said don't overthink it. No, I want to know what you're trying to do to me and my freaking countrymen and women. Yeah, I'm socially libertarian more, but I'm conservatively, like financially conservative. And this is the thing, like the people that are like, no, you can't, you can only be one or the other. No, you can only be one or the other. Don't ever think it is the exact statement that gets me to think harder. Thankfully it won't be anything to sign up for. They got to do it. We'll show them why they ain't got free health care. Don't ever think it is also just right. But some people just follow the rules. They're sheep. They just say, okay, don't ever think it. And then they just get programmed. How do you feel about that question? How do you feel about that statement? How does that statement make you feel? It's so crazy. I'm honest belief. I think we're overabundant on this planet. The soul actually equals $0. Hold on. I was about to look up something too. I can't remember what it is. Let's see. Which of these movies would you consider seeing in theaters? This is not a test. Psycho Killer, The Strangers, Scream 7. There you go. This shit is so amazing. We aren't overabundant.
Before there were bones, there were builders.
Right. I can't remember if it's everyone in the world or if it's just everyone in the United States would fit in Texas. I think it's everyone in the world would fit in Texas. And like if you ever learned about the diamond, like how they turned a trash rock into the most valuable thing on earth, just by the advertising and the marketing, and it had one company that can control it. So they made it rare. They made it artificially rare. So if they want to sell you more expensive stuff, they say there's people dying of starvation. We don't have enough food to feed everybody. So you got to pay $8 a grape. And you're like, well, I guess I should be lucky. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And I Just Want to Be Sheep song from church as a kid. In my line, earliest memories of questioning church. I thought we wanted to be shepherds, not sheep. I don't have free will, bitch. Right. You should have free will. But do you understand what that was from? It's saying you want God to be your shepherd. And I understand what you're saying 100%. Oh, well, it's good for the planet anyway. To hell with the planet. The world's worth $0. Life is priceless. That's exactly right. They want you to think. And if you listen to the propaganda a lot on the internet, they'll tell women to say, I know my worth. And they don't. They absolutely don't know their worth. They're told to want money from men, and it has nothing man-woman. It has to do with how can we make more money? How can these bars and restaurants and companies, how can Ruth's Chris make more money? If I got to take her there and I got to spend $400 because else she'll make fun of me on the internet, it's all them manipulating you to get money from you. Yeah, I didn't want the church to be leading me with questions. God, when that's questions. Right, exactly. Yeah. And this is the thing. My home is my church. I pray at home. I don't freaking talk to nobody. Religion should be a personal relationship. Exactly. Personal relationship with God and Christ, not a control mechanism. Agreed. 100%. And only 2% of churches in the United States actually preach the Bible. Like most of them go off. You'll go to like churches that'll be like, God, Jesus was trans. No, he wasn't. Just because you want him to be, but it's like, and this is what it is. We'll talk about that real quick. Class, shut up. This is the thing, okay? If you think about it like this, you get a lot of people that try to poo-poo a relationship with God, but if we're all on our way to hell, that's where we're headed. We're not going there because we did bad things or blah blah blah. This is just where you're going. You're just heading to hell. And the difference between heaven and hell is if you have a relationship with the thing that created you, that relationship, that's the difference between heaven and hell. The earth doesn't seem pretty good when people are hating you all the time, just because you think something. I thought this was purgatory. Right. Yeah, we can talk about that too. There absolutely is evil and it's plotting to destroy you every day. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you 100%. And once you realize that the one line you need to understand in the Bible is the devil is a deceiver. And when you start understanding how you have to look, though, you have to start picking people apart. But they want you to be, no, don't worry, we're all Republicans. Don't worry, we're all Democrats. No, everything's fine. They're lying to you. We'll keep you safe. We'll protect you with laws that already exist. Like they say, vote for me, and we'll make sure that you can't be black. But the laws already exist. You already cannot. I was about to say disagree. That's what it feels like. You can't discriminate on race, color, creed, sexual orientation. It's already in the law. But they act like, but it's happening here, so we need to make another law that does the same thing. No, you need to enforce the law. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Evil doesn't tell you it's evil. It acts the bad guy. Evil plays the victim. 100%. 100%. Yes, we studied this model. They actually used to study this. Okay, I'll look it up one thing. Okay, let's see. What is the 5 stages of the demographic transition? Birth rate, death rate, natural increase, total population, high, low, falling, low, you have to be seen, possibly further, possibly rising again. Little change, no change. Oh, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. And I mean, it's kind of true, but the problem is you don't know, the numbers have been so skewed. Do you want to hear something crazy? Listen, You know they're lying on the censuses and stuff, right? Like during COVID, when they were counting numbers, because COVID, I couldn't go into the college and count, so I just said, hey, college, how many people are in your dorms? Oh, you have 10,000 kids in the dorms? Cool. But it was COVID, so they're not in there. So the empty dorms just got counted, and then they go to the people's houses and they say where the kid lives. And it gets counted twice. So they're saying that we have all these people that we don't have, and then we're saying, oh, the birth rate. No, you're a liar. You're a deceiver. You're deceiving people because you want to be able to steal votes. And the thing is, they're going to steal votes, but they're making people paranoid that we are destroying ourselves. They are destroying us. We are not destroying ourselves. Absolutely. The world's population growth isn't evenly distributed either. Both population decline problems and population growth problems, depending on where you are. Right. And depending who you ask. And we've got plenty of food. Why evil exists? Because good exists. It's the yin and the yang. You can't experience something without experiencing the negative of it. So it's like you don't understand how truly good people are until you've been really experienced truly evil people. Stage 5's population decline. Right, but then it comes back after that, right? It says, after that, it says, falling further, possibly rising again. So it's however they want to teach it to you. Whatever mood the teacher is that in that day can say, you're all horrible people. You destroyed it with your freaking cars and your gasoline. Yeah, free will exists. Does bigotry exist? Yeah, bigotry. Why does bigotry yeah, right. Sorry, I read it wrong. Right. Because people want to be evil. Exactly, right. It doesn't include unnatural events. It's just a rough estimate. We're highly advised. It's a good exact amount. It's a rough estimate. All population, right. Things like birth rate, death rate, immigration, all numbers, healthcare, stuff. Right. But also immigration. So say Mexico counted how many people's in Mexico, but then 10 million people came across the border. Were they or were they not still counted in Mexico because they're still Mexican citizens? Yeah, and then so how does the money get distributed to its citizens in Mexico, and how does it get distributed in America? If you've got an ailment and you need Social Security, and Social Security is only taken from us for the amount that's needed, or disability is taken from it, but now there's 10 million more people. It all gets whacked out, and they're screwing with the numbers because they want to stay in power. And they don't care who dies. They just think if we kill off all the black people, we'll replace them with immigrants coming across, and that's the way they think. Even though they might say, and they'll say things like, "Who do you want to pick your cotton?" And that's exactly right, because you are still a slave master. It's just they change the words, but they get paid. You've always gotten paid. They get shelter and food. They've always got shelter and food. Your slaves were an investment. You paid hundreds of dollars back in the day, which was like tens of thousands today. And then you had to feed them and keep them alive and keep them out of the thunderstorms and hailstorms and whatnot. So it's the same thing. They just changed the words. It was $0 soul effect. There was something I just wanted to look up. I completely forgot it. Yeah, we got 3 more minutes. We'll watch this a little bit longer. But yeah, it's
before there were brains,
absolute.
there were
Also
decisions.
look up structured age.
Before anything we'd recognise as alive walked, swam, or crawled across this planet, something else was already engineering.
Agreed.
Not with tools, not with blueprints, but with chemistry, geometry, and something we still don't fully understand.
For 16,000
the ability
years,
to build
mankind was
itself.
only at 100 million
Right
mass
now,
past
inside
transitions
you,
exploded.
trillions of molecules.
Boop. It's hard to read them. Yeah, it's hard to read. Births add individuals. Deaths remove individuals off the population. And here's another crazy thing, and the problem with the bigotry of political parties is you've got the Republicans and the Democrats not taking dead people off the voter rolls, and then like you hear, and this is really obvious now in Democrat cities like Chicago. They say, "Oh, our murder rate's going down," but it's not. you have to ask the hospitals, and they say, okay, 500 people died, but only 318 people died. Okay, so you have almost 200 people that died, and you said they didn't. Oh no, they're just at home. They got over it, but they can't walk anymore. Can you just send their disability check and their social security check to my account? I'm taking care of them. Oh, and when it's time to vote, just send me their mail-in ballot. And that's what's happening. It's absolutely crazy. And it's happening everywhere. That's just where they're getting caught. How we accurately can be not accurate. We can't be. So we can't be accurate. But with all the satellites and the GPS satellites and the technology that we have, at least we know how many people have active cell phones and stuff devices, because we can pick up on the radio transmissions, so we can get a very good estimate of that. But then people in like the Middle East and stuff like that don't have that don't have electricity and stuff like that, it's much more difficult. But we can tell by like how much water they use. And so that's why we become so numb trying to start a configured life numbers and figures and science project in our own head. Step 1, it's not really happening. Step 2, yeah, it's happening, but it's not a big deal. Step 3, it's a good thing actually. Step 4, people are freaking out about it. It's a real problem. Yeah, and then step 5, we got to tax you to fix the problem that you said wasn't really happening. I guess we should thank them for being soulless, so we can at least think outside of the box. Could evil exist only in us because we lose connection with the source? Yes, that's typically what happens. Evil is a separation from God, basically. People that don't understand what's going on, or they know that God exists and they know that there's an opposite, a Satan, so to speak, and they choose to do that. Some people, dude, you'll meet people in your life that are truly evil. They want to sleep with your boyfriend or girlfriend. They want to rip up your family. They want people to die. They lie to people to tell them to go to protest and that the cops are using rubber bullets, so don't worry about it, and that it's not illegal to hit a cop with the car or punch a cop because it's a protest and it's legal, and they just lie to people. And then when people get killed, they're like, ha 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 ha. But online, they're like, oh my goodness, what happened? It's all crap. Boomers' mortality shelf is now. Yep. Society will start changing, but I agree. Evil is like when your mom is watching you for a period of time and you want to go hang out with your friends. You guys aren't being watched. You're being assholes. Yep. So when you realize that there's a creator, you realize that there's something you have to atone for after you leave this planet, after you die, right? So people that don't think that at all, they don't care. What do they care? They think heaven is on earth, and as long as and heaven is as much money as they can get and as much girls and guys as they can get, and so they don't care who they destroy because they don't think they have to pay for it afterwards. Human nature is so experienced that we'll have to be human nature is to experience it. We have all been there. It's your choice if you still want to stay there. Yes, that's right. We're all sinners. But evil in man isn't disconnection from it. But evil in man is disconnection from the source. Yeah. I would say it is. The overall picture is that the world's population is growing. Most of the growth is happening in South Africa and Asia. Right. And here's another. So birth control's not needed. Birth control is used as birth control. The problem is people are lied to about the amount of resources that are available, and so people get scared. People are lied to about the climate, thinking that the world's going to end, so they don't want to bring a child into this world. And if you can get a woman on birth control, you can get $20 from each woman each month for pills, and times 100 million women. That's 200 million. No, that's, what did I say? That's $2 billion a month that you're getting every month. And they don't care. America isn't exactly declining, but we're slowing down. We need more population. We'll need more population. No. That's all bullshit. It's all propaganda. Listen, look at how many kids we have here. That's what this is what propaganda is told to say. This is why we need illegal aliens. Because no, it's all shit. It's all crap. How do you need to take care of your parents? You know, I mean, unless you don't have any kids, but there's a lot of people are having kids. And a lot of people aren't on the internet, you know? So it's like we only see the hell that we've put ourselves in, but it's not true. It's not true. Animal nature is to experience. Human nature is to resist the world's temptations. Yes. Buckeyes, we are definitely animals, but we don't define the animal kingdom chart. Isn't that funny? It is funny. It kind of makes no sense that the poorest places can feed this. Right. This is perfect point. Exactly. The poorest places with no big governments, that no welfare, have 9 kids each, and it's all working out just fine. It's gloom and doom, we're told, because they don't want competition. There's people that want trillions of dollars each instead of hundreds of billions of dollars each, and the less people they're here to have to spread it around to, the more that they can take. It's a competition. Birth control and education is needed for women in the places they don't have nothing. They at least need the option. Sure, yeah, absolutely. They should have the option, sure. But the problem is, who are you going to give that to? Are you going to tell some company to do it? They ain't going to use good things. Do you think it's better? It goes far, because listen, you're putting the livelihoods and the well-beings of those women on corporations. You're saying it's better that they have these pills from this company, and that's not the case. They need condoms is what they need. They don't need the hormonal birth control. So I agree and disagree. We are the most sinful animals on this planet. Absolutely. We are, man. We are greater than animal. We resist our animal urges to say murder and rape is wrong. Animals do not. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And this is a big thing. Corporations don't want you to stop spending money on them. And they make so much money off of birth control and stuff like that. And the problems that they're saying, you don't see them in real life. Like that whole thing, abortion makes so much money, and they can get the government to pay for it. And it's hundreds of dollars per woman per event. I'm not saying it shouldn't be available, but it should not be pushed like this. Well, Trump wants people to have children. I'd say the population is declining is the thing. No, he wants people to be happy. It's a population declining is the thing. We're not declining yet, but we're slowing. I'm saying whether right, but he's saying you should have families and enjoy. There are so many people that don't understand that we're here for a reason. To have families, to have people that love us and care about us. And most people don't even care about themselves until they have kids. So things get better for a lot of people. You see the few on the news and the internet that, oh, this woman has 17 kids. Why do you think people have the urge to kiss each other on the lips? Because they want to have babies. It's the natural urge. Animals kill babies. Others, the mothers say, mate, yes, that's exactly true. That's exactly true. Man does not do that. On difference between animals and humans, the others survive instincts we can. From the source. They need condoms too. Yeah, the men there aren't always responsible. They want power in the relationship. That's that feminism crap, girl. You don't understand. This is all crap. They all want women to be dependent on taking. That's all crap. How many? 4%? No, it's crap. We are sinful because no dummy. We are sinful because we know dummy. Animals, we're more sinful if we knew. Right. We're not murderers, rape, infanticide, mass, right? Like, and this is the thing, like the thing about abortion. You hear, oh, rape and incest. That's like 0.4% of all abortions are rape and incest. 0.4. Like, so the 99, because you can get because you have a company that offers a product, and if the company can get the government to pay for that, then they're guaranteed to get the pay. So then they hype up hoe culture and free the nipple and all this, saying, oh, women, you've been held down. It's bull crap. Because women could always do whatever they wanted to do. Women could run for governor and run businesses, run everything. You're told that's it, so that you will be like, oh, I'm free, I'm having sex with everybody. Then you get pregnant, and then they make money off of it. So they've only had to tell you. It's absolutely crazy. How do you create dummies in a world where they think? How do you create dummies? Create a world where they think for you. Abortion being criminalized, that was a bit concerned. It's not being criminalized. It's being taken down to 4 weeks or whatever. And this is a problem with propaganda too. And listen, I'm getting more pro-Trump, but I'm not 100% there. But lies are lies. He pisses off the conservatives and the Christians because he says women should have access to abortion. But the people that want up to 9-month abortions say, no, Trump's going to destroy everything. And that's a big problem too, because it comes from criminalization, unsafe ways to abort, right? But people don't do that very often. Listen, more people are getting killed in the street protesting than women that died from accidental or like clothes hanger abortions. These are things also like the George Floyd thing. You get one person that dies and you could rile up a whole political movement for it. It doesn't work like that. And also, there's an anti-abortion pill for women that have taken the morning after pill. They can take a pill to cancel that out. They're just selling you more stuff. They're taking human nature and they're taking something out of it and selling it back to you. They don't care about you and your babies. They don't care about that. They don't care at all. Not a drop of piss. Not at all. And it seems like they don't care. Criminalization is a gateway for hate propaganda, more money, more something. Right? You're better off just living your life, not in this world. It's hard because problems, but straying away from will give you a better peace of mind. And this is the thing. Like, we're given handouts from some wacky ass teacher that gives us these bullshit numbers. But when you go look it up, you have to find out I'm being lied to. That's fine. I understand. You got drunk, you had sex, you're pregnant, you want to get rid of it. Okay, it's been a week. Go ahead. But the problem is when you have cartels running things and they want their prostitutes to go out there and have sex without condoms and then be able to get rid of the kids so they can get back out on the street the next day. And this is the stuff that they're not even trying to stop. Oh, but that's not really happening. Well, which one is it? You know? When women's lives are in danger or our babies' lives are in danger, they should have safe ways. Otherwise, right? And that's not an abortion. If the mother's life's in danger, it's not called an abortion. And this is another thing about propaganda. They mix the two together because the numbers weren't high enough, so they mix them together. But yeah, when they call it a termination rather than abortion. Well, their lives are dangerous, in danger, they should have safe ways. And I agree, and they do. A doctor won't one may have, and they'll get all the news, but doctors won't sit there and let you die because they can't perform an abortion. That's not the way it works. It happened once somewhere, and then it got media for 40 years. But yeah, but I understand. I understand the emotional tie to it. We're talking babies and women, and I understand. But the problem is, I'm just done with the lies, and I learned the same things as you. It's just when you finally look into everything, it's all bullshit. It's all. But there's a difference between abortion and like a tubal pregnancy. That's not an abortion because the baby would never have ever made it to birth. It's like not a tubal ligation. That's a tube tie. What's it called? A tubal pregnancy. I can't remember what it's called. Evil prospers when good men do nothing. This is why the world's falling apart. That's exactly right. My spiritual journey has led me to understanding a creator and purpose behind everything. Good, my friend. That's when life starts to get good. Buckeye, this is true. The only way I actually do something is come together, and when you come down, they just create Jonestown effect for you. Do you know about Ram Dass? Let's look it up. Bro, if parents don't want a baby because some government rule we can have abortions, the baby's life's going to be hell in another one. It's not what I'm talking about, though. You have to look at the numbers. Abortion is still legal. The Democrats, in this case, the Democrats want everybody emotional about it. So they lie and say Trump wants to stop all abortions and let mothers die on the table because they're having a miscarriage. And that's all propaganda bullshit. The Republicans didn't like Trump, or the Christians didn't, because Trump wanted to allow up to 6 weeks or 9 weeks or whatever it was. But yeah, so people are just wrong about everything on the right and on the left. Power comes from the consent of masses. Absolutely. I know all about Jonestown, but we can look it up. Exactly. Criminalization is dangerous in certain things. This is weed addiction should be a rehabilitation. Right. And this is a big thing. Why don't they do that? When people go to jail, why don't they pay money to rehabilitate them? Who do you think runs the jails? And who do you think profits? How do you think the drugs get in the jails? These people are bought and paid for, and you want to keep the addicts while they're in jail. So when they get out, they go right back onto it. You have a lot of very evil people doing a lot of evil things that don't want to get caught, so they tell you they're doing good things. Like you have people releasing murderers from jail because they're black. And racism for bail, and that's all bullshit because they're like, well, maybe he had a bad childhood. Then why didn't you give him therapy when you had him in jail? There's always sub answers, other answers that could be questions that could be asked that they never ask. They'd say stuff like he could have had a bad childhood, he has trauma from his father. Well, okay, while he's in jail, take care of that. Why do you just let him out? Because some people want to see the world burn. Dictatorship or democracy? Choose one. Dude, I would choose a good dictator over a fucking horrible democracy. But I would choose a good democracy over a horrible dictator, right? There's good people and bad people, and the people fail to separate the two. Yes, we are a constitutional republic. This is another big thing of propaganda. We need to save the democracy. We're not a democracy. We're not a democracy. And they just lie. You have Kamala Harris saying, oh, Trump will destroy the democracy. No, he'll destroy the constitutional republic. She was the vice president, and she didn't even know what she was talking about. And this is what I'm talking about the lies. They're severe. It's illusionary wall to create a mind barrier towards something you're supposed to actually say. Oh, we agree on some 100%. Politically, finally, rehabilitation should be put in place where absolutely people, some people are just evil, some people are weak. Agreed, 100%, 100%. And this is the thing. A lot of politicians get money from cartels through super PACs and stuff. Like, why do you think some towns are so bad? Because they're getting money from the people selling drugs on the street. The thing that needs to happen, addiction needs to be conquered. We need hospital-sized rehabilitation centers, and people should be able to come in the second they need help, like an emergency room, not go on an 8-week-long waiting list or whatever. I absolutely agree, because a lot of the reasons a lot of people have problems is because addiction. I would say a lot of the people that are out there screaming into their cell phones are addicts of some sort. And we have a lot of mental health issues that need to be taken care of, but it's not taken seriously. Most people that act out from mental health issues tried to self-medicate on something. That needs to be taken care of. Trump over Kamala all day. The thing is, and I was looking into Kamala until she started, I know that we're not a democracy, and she started lying like that. I was like, she's just a liar. But I didn't vote for Trump either. I didn't vote for either one. So go after drug dealers, not drug users. Right. Agreed. 100%. Yeah. Cut the snake. Cut the head off of the snake. Cut the snake off at the head. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. But the thing is, and this, I tell you what, if Trump's gonna do what he says he's gonna do, and it seems like he is, stopping all this fentanyl coming in, you're gonna have a lot of withdrawing addicts, and they won't have access to those street pharmaceuticals. You could put money invest in rehabilitation centers, detoxes. Finding common ground politically like this makes me feel better about debating is fun and it humanizes each other. Right. I agree, Katra. Absolutely. And this is the problem. Nobody stays calm long enough to get to a point where they find common ground. People just say, "Oh my God," and they just freak out, and that's a problem. Yeah, right. If you talk long enough, you'll find common ground because we're both freaking humans. We're going to find common ground. But people have these hills they want to die on. And the thing is, and this is the thing that pisses me off, you have people that go out in the streets and die in protest rather than running for office. If you're going to go die in the streets because you're going to smash out windows and shit, why not run for office and say, let's change these laws? I'm going to be the one to do it. Why is it always the army ants? It's the sheep thing. These people are sheep. They're being told why they should be mad, and not a good way to fix it, not the rules of the game, how politics works. They think that it's not protest that makes changes. It's not what happens. It's because they don't care. They don't care either way. What you have to do is you have to convince enough people while you're in a position of power. So you have to get to a position of power. And we could end the drugs coming in one and allow the excuse for overplace. Yeah, right. We would not have we could defund the police way down if we didn't have the drug problem that we have. And I don't think maybe Katra understands, but we have a big problem. Most people I know are on or have been on either drugs or food. Like, they've got the addictive mindset. Trump or Putin, Kamala almost had potential until she showed herself. Every goddamn politician out there, all the same. Right, exactly. This is why you can't lose your friends and family over this. You've got to talk it through. It just comes out to AI servers, and I'm talking hard on the dealers, heroin dealers, attempted murder. Yeah, I agree. Right. Agreed. 100%. Fentanyl. Yeah, done. The graffiti artists. Where are the graffiti artists when you need them? Balls to the wall. Balls to the wall. Like I said, we agree on what we want. Many are misinformed. The issues. This goes back to what I was saying. They lie, and people believe these lies as truth, and then so when somebody comes with their truth, it's like, no, I learned this in school. No, Kamala said we're losing the democracy. And it's crazy because we take it as gospel, not necessarily. Even with AI technology, huge problems in our society. Oh yeah, I agree. Why are people so emotionally reactive in arguments? They learn from social media, right? It gets clicks and views. Look, you make 300 videos and you're like, hi, my name is Jess and I'm cool, blah, blah, blah. And then you say, fuck Trump. And you get 40 likes and you're like, okay, Trump's a jerk. 70 likes. And then it's so people learn. I get attention when I get active. I figured he was kidding on the AI search comment. I guess it's about how to put sarcasm into comments. Right? It's hard to do. Putin is a horrible leader for country, but good leader for the regime. I agree. He's the person where he should be. He's a good person for the position he's in. I didn't like Kamala after she hid the evidence of what a freedom man on death row because she wanted a better score. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yep. They're all just faces. It's all theater. Listen, I've met a lot of these people. I've built the sets that they're not actually in Washington D.C. They're on some set in Georgia saying, "Vote for me. This guy's a jerk. He's a Trumper. Blah blah blah." And then the other guy says, "Cut." And then the other guy comes on and he says, "Vote for me. Trump helps us out. Oh, the other guy's a freaking jerk." And then cut. And they're like, "Hey, dude, you got a line of blow? Hey, cool. Hey, you want to go and party together?" And they're friends. They're only enemies when they're performing. These people are friends. They're making millions of dollars together off of acting in front of us. We have a huge addiction problem: drugs, technology, alcohol, gambling. Yep, the four horsemen. Absolutely. Yeah, 70 likes. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? And people have problems. And the thing is, we've normalized mental health issues. So a lot of people get in, and then like we've normalized don't cook for no man. So everybody's ordering food and they're eating the trashiest crap, and then they're feeling bad and their life sucks and everything because they ain't got no B12. Not gonna lie, Putin puts his people before foreigners, at least. Yeah, I agree. No, I'll say it. Yes, I agree. I wouldn't want him running America, but he's running Russia just fine. Remember when Democrats left America to ban after Hurricane Helene? Yes. Wait, can we talk more about? I'll be banned if I'm not going. But can we talk more? But I'll get banned and I'm not going to. Oh, okay, gotcha. What's up, Andy? We don't have to be. How are you, brother? What's up, my brother? Balls to the wall. ND, can you check your undergarments for skid marks? I remember when TikTokers were pretending they mellow. She's yes, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, people do this, and other people think, like, it's so crazy. If you go to, like, schools these days, colleges, you see people like, free Palestine! They're killing it! It's so freaking cringe crazy because it's all performative. Remember people, graph go up isn't always a good thing. Women working and making more GDP gave us blue hair and feminazis. I change underwear every week. Yeah. And we remember when TikTokers acted like Holocaust ghosts? No. The generation we're saving glaciers for. It's actually wild and infuriating. Someone to the high school actually faked Tourette's. Right. Listen, most people just want other people to know they exist, and they'll do the wildest things to make that happen. And you'll see a lot of these people that get arrested for ICE protests, and the second they get out of jail, 8 hours later, they're like, they're gonna give me a $400 ticket. I need to leave the country. This is my freaking Cash App. And they just raise like $500,000, and all these other people know it. It's fake and performative. Everyone knows this is the greatest country on earth. This is the only country on earth that millions of people are trying to break into. We're going to save a generation for a bunch of gooners at this point. You have chosen the best population for the whole world instead of 8 billion. Wait a second. If you had to choose the best population for the world, 8 billion, brother, I think we could use 10. I think we could, if we got an extra 2 billion people and we came up with better forms of government, All right, Yuri asked me to look something up. I can't remember if I copied it or not. Where was it? Ram Dass. Oh yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah. He's what is he? What do you guys call them? Gurus? Widgies? Not widgies. I can't remember what they're called. Yeah, I remember that guy. I knew him since middle school. He also turned out to be an abuser, cheater. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is called evil, Katra. People are evil. They're evil. They do things like that. Listen, you're acting like you have a mental disorder, and then if he's dating someone that's not getting him enough attention, what do you think he's gonna do? He's gonna act out. Every week is a disgrace. Actor coming in political scene and start asking to vote. It's the worst possibility. We're having this situation more. What's up, Vishal? Vote for an actor. He's a more moral man in the movie, right? Yeah, it happens a lot. B12 and ADHD. No, we'll never get to type 1. We're gonna get to like 0.8. I think we're at like a 0.7 now. Yeah, Adderall, that shit. And listen, I'm gonna tell you, he's kind of my guru. Hey, if I remember correctly, Armstar. That job is accredited with founding the building. Okay, but what is his famous quotes? The next message you need is always right where you are. We are all fellow human beings walking each other home. The game is not about becoming somebody. It's about becoming nobody. Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, that's not Jesus, right? Adderall amount. Let me never let him hook me on it. I tried to get an 88 medication reduce Adderall matter. Yeah. Yes. Listen. This is a big thing. Okay. There's 2 main drugs in America, and it's methamphetamines and heroin / fentanyl. So the 2 main drugs you get as kids are Percocets, Vicodin, or whatever for tooth pain, and then Adderall, which is amphetamine salts for ADHD, Ritalin, ADHD. So it's just the drugs they want you to use on the street. You get to experience, and they don't do any. Ritalin doesn't do anything for ADHD. Adderall doesn't do anything for ADHD. It makes you feel high, and so you're thinking about the high. Wow, so it slows your brain down that way, but because you're thinking about the high, but it doesn't bring everything clear, and you'll lie and say it does so you can get more Ritalin. And then when they stop giving it to you because you eat all of it in a week, you go get on meth. It's crazy. They know what they're doing. We're all space travelers trying to find something. I love this. Me too. Bro, you know the Osho screen that man goes to America, people made town, and his name is this guy. The Osho screen? No, Am I missing something here? Maybe. Osho. No. I think I do know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Indian guy. Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Interstellar. When just getting that movie was shit when it comes to reality and production quality I didn't like Interstellar personally. Yeah, let's make friends. That's what I want to do. Yeah. Listen, movies used to be magical. No, I don't have any kids, Rodolfo. Who's that lounging in my chair? Who's that casting a devious stance in my direction? And Johnny is a dream. Let's go into a private room. Somebody, I don't have any kids. I want children, absolutely. Yeah, so I'm thinking 3 more years. The rate that my business is growing here, I figure about 3 years I'll be retiring, or at least start looking for a wife. Yeah, not married yet. And I'm not even dating. I'm not playing any games. I ain't doing nothing. No. Yeah, movies ain't shit. No, they absolutely suck. And this is the thing. They could be great. It could be absolutely great. And people could have made great things from previous great things, and they've just run them to shit. That people cannot keep their bullshit politics out of stuff these days. Because people cried long enough and got put into positions, they were like, oh, now, and it's like, listen. These people don't make stuff for everybody. They make, and the thing is, you get all of these narcissists that create characters of themselves in movies. Like they draw animes and they have video games, and the person in the game looks like the person that wrote the game, and they're like, and they want their politics in there or their disability in there, and they push all this crap, and they don't care that they're pushing half because they only live online, and everybody agrees with them because they're bullies. And then when it comes out, when the game, video, movie, whatever comes out, it's trash because it's obviously pandering to one side, not to everybody. My favorite series is Money Heist. I don't think I've ever even seen it. My dad used to watch Andy Griffith Show. I used to watch that. Yep. Futures, yeah. What up, Daniel? They want flashy cash grab effects because they can. So they think that that's the key. They're like, oh well, we can do this. AI can do this, but that's the problem. They are still creatively stunted. They suck. They haven't made any good shit. But because they're DEI but this or pro that or pro Trump or pro whatever, they think that they can put, and it's crap. They make crap. They're not creative. They don't have their own thought. They think because they think like everyone else that everyone thinks like them. But the problem is that everyone's lying to them. Cry bullies, yes. After 10 years, the world will be magical. Start watching indie movies from around the world. But yes, I highly agree. You absolutely should. When the fans don't like it, they literally say historic franchise was never for you. Insert historic franchise here. Yeah, right, exactly. And then like you have people that are, yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Yeah, everything is programmed to TV. Yep, that's why they call it programming. That's why they call it programming on television. Fast and the Furious went downhill. Definitely did. I'm on Star Trek Next Generation run now. I love it. We're basically generic robots creating a storyline out of fiction. Take Indiana Jones earlier movies, iconic. Exactly. Absolutely kick ass. But then they're like, okay, well now we got to get the teen heart throbbing, and we got to do this, and we got to get this for the merchandise. It's all crap. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know about USA much, but I think Obama was the best leader. Yeah, you're completely wrong. He did the worst for most people. He bailed out billionaire banks, his billionaire buddies, and while saying he was anti-billionaire, he just lied to everybody. He hurt the black community. He's got a whole bunch of laws. Dude, he screwed up so bad. I don't want to be a robot ghost trapped inside of a human. I'm not an idiot, but I am. Yeah, if I recall correctly, my beans are still back cooking over the fire. If I recall, he was elected twice, right? And then. I guess so that you don't look into how he did. His wife started saying you're racist if you said he did anything wrong. So then if you try to call out, we'll say you got a whole bunch of people. He deported 5 million people. Trump deported 700,000 people. Obama deported 5 million people, and people called him God. The Barbie movie versus Oppenheimer's shit was a prime example. Yep. My sister made me watch the Barbie movie. I can't. Something like that. At least it made her gay. I didn't know about that. He got the Nobel Peace Prize and killed more people than almost any other president. And well, at least, especially in the last 30 years, he killed more people, and he got the Nobel Peace Prize because he said he was for peace, and he lied. He's a deceiver. Everything he said was backwards. He would literally get up on stage every week and his finger at Americans and start the anti-American bullcrap. Yep, I agree. So a president can have a third term? No. Only during times of war. If there's time of war, then and there can't be an election because there's too much fighting and stuff going on, then the president can stay a third term. Apparently, I mean, I have to look into that more. That's what I was told. Now it's serious. Yeah, well, there's Barbies now all straight. Excuse me, they're pushing feminism so hard. Here's the problem. They also told women to not date men that didn't see the movie. So you have people in the movie industry saying, how can we get as many people to watch this movie as possible? We'll turn all women into prostitutes, and we'll tell them, don't sell your bodies to people unless they watch the Barbie movie. So then guys will be like, well, let me go watch the Barbie movie so I can get laid. It's freaking prostitution. We're being pimped out 100%. Absolutely, he did. Absolutely. Same Nobel Peace Prize that refused Trump. Exactly, for ending wars. That's how you know it's crap. I have an opinion. When the American was busy in the Middle East, China was busy on building investments 5 years ago. I think you're wrong. China lost a lot of income from America because of the tariffs, and India is gaining a lot. Be my butterfly. Second, did my message not go through? I don't see it, brother. And I hate Obama and Trump and Kamala. Good. You're on the right path. You're on the right path. No, I want my message read right now. Did I miss it? Student of War. No, last thing you said was, so basically generic robots creating a storyline out of fiction. Sorry, I'm not an idiot, but I am. That was the last thing you said. I'm not an idiot, but I am. Same principles applied to America World War I and the Second World War when they prioritized investment lending over World War. No. So I'll tell you what happened. Trump literally not that bad. No, he's doing great. He's doing way better than I anticipated, and I think that anybody anticipated. And then like once you realize like. Then the Epstein files come out, and it comes to find out that Trump's the one that called the cops on Epstein, and then that blew everything apart. And I'm like, okay, I'm tired of being lied to. Everybody's just lying to me, So I'm like, when people say he's in the Epstein files, I'm like, which one? Which one says that he did something bad? And they can't, and it's so horrible. Also, movie theaters designed a certain way. I know, there's no way to get designed specifically to make you feel a certain way. That's exactly right. Everything. But you have to know where your battles are. You can still enjoy movies, know you're being manipulated in the theater. YouTube has shadow banned me because all the stuff I said don't want me that much censored to the max. Censored to the max. Yes. Michael Jackson was doing the protecting, and they called him the pedophile because the pedophiles didn't want to be called out. That's the problem. We have to choose between bad and worse, choosing a leader, right? Unless you become one yourself, right? And I think that's a problem. We don't have enough people. We haven't built leaders. We've built freaking wackadoos. W. Modi. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm looking at. There we go. I sent a couple of things, but I didn't go through. Let's see. YouTube shadow banned me. I'm totally kidding. I want my message read right now. So yeah, the last thing I see is I'm totally kidding. And then it says I sent a couple of they definitely didn't go through. Hate or love, regardless. Remember Trump making everybody legally a female or hot minute they fixed it. Realized it was fun. Right, and this is my point about things. Have fun with it. Everybody is so serious, deadly serious, that they're willing to leave the planet over some politics. It doesn't change who you are and who you love. It's so crazy. I'm basically saying we're full of dopamine. We is full of dopamine. I agree 100%. You see the deep state frame Nixon for Watergate. I saw that. Yep. You recall last encounter with the honey badger? I do not. Have you, Space Cowboy? Let's drink dopamine and drink a float to heaven. Yeah, I used to be a fan of the dopamine. I used to take Sam E, I think it was called. It was a supplement, and there was St. John's wort to help build as much dopamine as I could. I think it was St. John's wort. St. John's wort and dopamine. Yes, I do. He lives in my basement now. Acts as a natural antidepressant as reuptake of neurotransmitters, dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. So this works as an SSRI, a SDRI, and an SNRI, and it comes right out of the ground. But they're like, no, take this Prozac. Nixon was a G. People only know him as a crook. Yeah, right. And that's what they want to do. It's called reputation destruction. They got it down to a T. Imagine your government just throwing smoldering fire blankets over more smoldering fire blankets to hire somebody to put out the smoldering fire blankets with another smoldering fire blanket. Exactly. Yeah. No, they know what they're doing. Yeah, they create the problems. They create problems. They use the media and the propaganda machine to get all the news out there, to get everybody riled up. Then their buddies start companies, nonprofits, and NGOs that get funded, and it's just rinse and repeat. Every once in a while. My first STD, yep. Oh, my dingy bird. In my country, say cigarette are bad, and then Solution made cigarette expensive. Like they do the same things here. problem is nicotine is an anti-parasitic. They don't want you putting anti-parasitics in your body. Because I would say 70 to 80% of all medical maladies that we have are from parasites, and they don't want you getting rid of them yourself. That's why they're trying to do to Trump too. Many people see the lies. Remember Russiagate, right? Yes, yeah. Absolutely. And it's everything's bullshit. And what they've done to people, what they've done to families and friends and everything, turning people on each other because of lies. Because you had a bunch of people in power that were in the Epstein files that didn't want them to come out. Kamala and Biden got elected and didn't release one of them, one of the files. And they were hoping that Trump would never get elected to release the files, and now people are getting locked up. At least the first one today. Nicotine is a nootropic. Right. Makes you smarter. It definitely seems to. They try to read through that. I'm a little drunk. They got it down to a T. Imagine. I said it. Did you hear me say it? I got it down to. Imagine your government just throw a smolder fire blanket on more smoldering fire blankets to hire somebody to put out the smoldering fire blankets with another smoldering fire blanket. All the detectives and scientists, small smoke pipes. Yep. Do you recall how a 5-pole motor works? 5-pole motor. If I remember correctly, a 5-pole motor is a stepper motor. 5-pole motor. That's a 4-pole. Smaller, loose. You need a motor driver. My stuff isn't going through, but I think that one did. Yeah, I saw the smoldering fire one. Yeah. Politics is different than smoldering blanket, but it's bigger than ours. Politics is just different smoldering blanket. Right. Absolutely. And the thing is, fatigue is a real thing. You can only be an asshole liar so long until too many people figure you out. We went through the 2000s. Trusting the government helped us after 9/11. And then we trusted them for too long, and they just completely ripped us off. And then they just kept lying about it when people started bringing it out. So then they started saying, no, these people are bad. This person's bad. If they say no, I'm going to find out what happened. I'm like, nope, he talked to freaking aliens. And and they just absolutely lie. And I'm just so tired of it. You're about over the winter. Brother, it was like 75 here today. Current temperature. It's 63 at 11:40 p.m. right now in Georgia. Yeah. Where are you at? Buckeye? I don't think you said, or I don't remember. If you're up north somewhere, I'm guessing. New Hampshire, that wasn't you, I don't think. I can't remember correctly. I can't know. Imagine if they said aliens fled away with our money. That would be hilarious. Yeah, like a Leslie Nielsen movie. Yep. Like, look. We just opened up the freaking doors to Fort Knox, and the aliens were stealing all our money. Northeast Ohio. Yeah, dude. You're right near Space Cowboy. Do you recall the event doing a hurricane? Duck and cover? What to do in the event of a hurricane? Prioritize safety by following evacuation orders. Secure your home by boarding windows and bringing items inside. If staying, take shelter in an interior room. Yes, I knew that. I do have an interior windowless room. Avoid floodwaters and monitor local authorities. Hey, Fish Sticks, what's up? You making your rounds, my brethren? How you doing, brother? Fish Sticks comes in throwing around 50 joules. Dun, 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 dun. Oops. I broke something. Let's see. Have you ever seen The Eye of a Tornado? Yes, I have. I have seen The Eye of a Tornado. Just hanging out, just chilling. I'm gonna go grab some water real quick, guys. Okay, let's see. I would hope this guy had played RuneScape once. I played RuneScape. Abso-freaking-lutely. Tornadoes are scary, primarily a North American thing. Yes. Flashbacks to when the high of the day was like -5 January. It was like 2 weeks of that. Yeah, I'm not interested in that at all. It was 20. -5 is good. -20. Have I ever witnessed cash fraud? Yes, dude. Shit. Lots of times. Dude, I used to work with this girl at Vita France. And she was one of those people where somebody would pay with a 20, and then they would be like, "Hey, can you break it down? Can you give me a 5 and 3 1s?" And then be like, "Oh, never mind. Give me 2 5s for this 10 and what?" Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Tornadoes are so interested, and definitely say it depends on the tornado how much I'm scared. Yeah, I agree too. When it warmed up to the 20s, it did feel kind of warm. Yeah, it's amazing how comparison is weird, right? Like if you go from 70 degrees and walk outside and it's -20, it feels like -20. But if you go from -10 to -20, it doesn't feel that bad. I remember the warmer part of the state. Exploding trees. I remember the exploding trees, absolutely. Yeah, you had the water inside of the trees froze to the point that the water swelled and the trees exploded. Do you recall the ingredients needed to deform a tornado? To deform one, I'm guessing it's got something to do with barometric pressure. Ingredients to deform a tornado. Wind shear and instability change. Warm, moist air, the atmosphere conditions. Humans cannot control these. Yeah, wonder why it's telling us humans can't control them. Huh? Just in case you were wondering, guys. Just in case you were wondering, humans can't control these. Tornadoes weaken when any key atmospheric ingredient is lost. Loss of warm, moist air. That's the fuel of the thunderstorm. What animal would you get? Hold on. What animal would you get that you've never owned? Pigs, turkey, or bees? Bees. I would definitely get bees. Honey's a freaking superfood. I would definitely get bees. I don't like having to slaughter things. Remember the 15 years ago it dropped to the -30s in the Northeast? Yes, I absolutely remember. Yeah, I absolutely remember. I think it was like 17 years ago. It was the last year I was in Maryland. Yeah, I absolutely remember. Space Cowboy or Daily Dose of Fun Fact. -20. Yeah, man, that stuff sucked. We had two blizzards back to back. I was stuck at the zoo for 6 days. It snowed 4 feet in about 40 hours, about an inch an hour, a little over an inch an hour. 15 years ago. Oh, hold on. They did it in the most recent Twister movie. What they controlled it 15 years ago. I was a little young to remember that. I didn't remember cold winters. I didn't pay attention to the numbers at that point. Right? Yeah. Now when you're young. I remember. I hope you have a really good day. What's up, Blaze? I hope you have a really good day. A peaceful night. If you're reading this late, take a deep breath. Be proud of yourself. And remember why you started. Better days are coming. Thank you very much, Blaze, brother. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Because I think about Cowboy Bebop when I see your name. Cowboy Bebop, Space Cowboy. I think about yeah. He's got. Does he have the? Oh yeah, he's got. Let's do this real quick. He's got what's his face in there. No. Dang it. There he is. Space freaking Cowboy. Sorry, do my messages. I just found Nintendo Wii for $50. Should I buy it? If you like Nintendo Wii, brother, get it. Yeah. Yeah, I was a fan of the Wii for a couple years. I didn't own one. My neighbors did, but I go over all the time, get drunk on sake. My chart. Here's my chart of Tornado Ninja. Funnel cloud. Take a video. Go inside. But you're probably fine. Touching the ground, but weak. Okay, but you're probably fine. Not that bad. Be mobile home. Be inside. Yeah, definitely. Do you recall what equation you need to calculate a tornado's path? No, I've got no clue. Equation needed to calculate a tornado's path. Oops. Yeah, apparently it needs non-linear atmospheric modeling. which makes sense. The Navier-Stokes equation, the governed motions of viscous fluids. Bro, I have a wee. It just needs to get fixed. I miss it. In a cowboy hat. Vitamins, minerals. The Switch. I never owned a Switch. I owned a Switchblade, a switch comb. Do you recall the last time you sat on your porch and smoked a joint? Freaking 20 years. Over 20 years. Over 20 years. Space Cowboy has a picture like he's from the Oregon Trail. Oregon Trail. You got hysteria. Look at these freaking graphics, boy. Look at these graphics. Ready? Bam. There's the original. You have died of dysentery. If you're on the ground, never try to predict unless you're a storm chaser. Get the shot or never have one. Never try to outrun one. If you have one, go 90 degrees. Yep, always go 90 degrees. That's exactly right. I used to sit down on my porch every morning and smoke away and drink coffee. You sat with a squirrel. Squirrels sat with me every day. If you go the direction it's going to catch up to you. It's like falling tree. Yep, better go left to right. Exactly. Agreed. Because there's some force already propelling it in the direction it's going. And dude, they suck like magnets, like to the ground. It's so crazy. Yeah, that's crazy stuff. Think about that. 50 years ago, we were still making video games. I got a video of me offering. Oh wow, they have it still. They have new versions of it now. Wow, look at the new version. That's so great. Oh, that's a 50th anniversary edition. Better go, but not in school. What? The student. I like your thinking. You're saying 50 years. Who's to say Rome never had power? Right? Isn't that interesting? Think about it. If Rome had power, somebody definitely would have taken the copper lines that they would have used. They wouldn't have left them there. And it's so amazing that people left Rome and never went back, right? It's absolutely amazing. It makes no sense. I think the PSP was ahead of its time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what was the Sega one? The Sega one was ahead of its time. Rome would have documented power. They documented everything. Yeah, I agree too. Yeah, they would be on the coins and stuff. They would, yeah, absolutely. If they had power like that, they would have flexed it. Sega Portable. The Game Gear. That was the original right there. The Game Gear. That guy right there. That was it. That was absolutely it. Right, because that had a color screen that was backlit, and that took over for a huge time after the Game Boy. PSP was had browser. You could do backdoor code from a browser and mod it. They're on the other side. What's on the other side? What I missed, the documented power would have never been documented to people like us, and they're on the other side. Driver's ed taught me how to drive away from a tornado, not school. Interesting that we didn't even learn about tornadoes very much in school. She says, yes, listen, you don't learn about anything in school. You learn more about the current political temperature, current political climate, than you learn about anything. They just touch topics. It's so weird. I mean, they do it on purpose. There's only one reason that they do that. It's absolutely on purpose. They want you to still not know anything, then figure that out, then pay for the education, even though it's free. We're on the fence and Tiny on the other side. We are on a fence and they are on the other side. I have played the Dreamcast. Yeah, I loved it. The Dreamcast was good. Dreamcast was great. Yeah. So was the GameCube. Yeah. Everything else you've been taught has been some sort of bias. If you've been into school over the past 6 years, you've been taught a lot of bullshit. You're on your own. You have to understand that. Crazy Taxi is badass. Also is Resident Evil. Crazy Taxi. Oh shit. Wow, dude, talk about the beginnings of what's it called? Grand Theft Auto. I bet you. I wonder if they got bought by them. Look at the old one, dude. Jeez. Oh, that's Cool Math Games. Crazy Taxi. Look at the frickin' graphics, dude. This looks different. Hold on. What was that right there? That looks way smoother and stuff. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe I'm misremembering. Pop Punk Classic. You can get Typing Off the Dead. You can get Typing of the Dead on PC. Typing of the Dead? That was my voice cracking at 49 years old. Run so smooth on modern hardware. Typing of the Dead. I'm just saying it seems like we repeat nature. Look at what we do through its repeated politics. Right. It absolutely is. It's absolutely cyclical. So the people that make the money off of it know this. They know how to move their money before they light the next fire. Absolutely. In the 1970s, it was the fuel crisis. In the 1980s, it was acid rain. In the 1990s, it was your refrigerator, your hairspray was destroying the world. In the 2000s, in the 2010s, it was climate change, or it was the ozone layer. Then it was hairspray, ozone layer. Then it was climate change in like the 2010s. Absolutely. Crazy nostalgia. Offspring is pure nostalgia. Goated. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Yeah, I played a lot of that too. I didn't own any of them. I didn't own any of the machines, but a bunch of my friends did, and that's what they would do. They would smoke and frickin' play Tony Hawk for 6, 7, 8 hours a day, then go to band practice. I'm pretty sure we're all the same. I'm 49. I share nostalgic views of what gets us and what gets us. Yeah, there you go. Make it happen. I thought you said are you 39, student? I thought you said that yesterday. Tony Hawk was amazing. Yeah. Tony Hawk was great. The PS1 was great, dude. Oddworld. PlayStation 1. PlayStation. You remember this freaking thing, dude? You remember that freaking thing? It didn't even have the vibrating the map editor. Yep. Didn't even have the 36, okay. Didn't even have the vibrating controller yet. The dual shock or the dual vibe. I'm a gleaming 36. Sad gleaming. What is that? What is that? Nintendo PlayStation. Oh, right. I forgot that they grouped together to make it and then broke apart. Right. Yes, Jax, I remember you. Dino Crisis was fun. Yeah, Nintendo was PlayStation for a while. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot was great, dude. Great game. Juga Juga. Wasn't that what the name? Juga Juga. It wasn't Ooga Booga. It was like Juga Juga. Dude, I mean, I don't know if you can see it. I'm on the studio camera, not the phone camera, buddy. Dude, Crash Bandicoot was such a good game. My original Xbox is ahead of its time. I don't even know where you're at anymore, dude. It's all completely locked out. Let me see if I can find you real quick, Jax. Hold on. Yeah, all right, hold on. All right, give me a second, Jax. Give me a second. I got you. I got you. Hold on. What's the mask that follows you around? Yes. That was you. Well, yeah, you put it on. Or yeah, I thought you put it on. Spyro. I got you. 1 second, Jack. I got you. Hold on. Okay. All right, let's see. Audio is going to be weird for a second. All right, let's see. Jeez, Louise, my brain. Jax. There, I got you. There we go. Brianna, that's so funny you say. Hey, I didn't even see Brianna coming there. Hey, Brianna. I read Spyro was my favorite, but I didn't see the name. Brianna, that's so funny you say. I always wanted to play Spyro because Crash Bandicoot was my game. Yeah, I never played Spyro. I know, I definitely played it, but not, like, I didn't spend as much as I played, Crash Bandicoot. I played 100 hours or more, definitely. The world's longest leak. That's good. Sometimes you gotta get rid of the urine. I love that it's cropped in my phone. Can imagine they saying gay station. Light bill. What up, plastic? You're welcome, Jax. You're welcome, brother. My husband doesn't believe I'm here to learn. You're here for that freaking big nose fella. A little thing with the goth girl I used to work with named Brianna. Screw her now. Yeah, that's how life goes. Dude, I tell you what, there's something in me, my brother, and my father. I remember when my father or my parents, they in their bedroom, we had the corded phone. The corded phone was on my mom's side of the bed. You know, they had like a king size bed or queen size bed or whatever bed size bed, and they had a not headrest. What are they called? Not end tables. Bedside tables, whatever they're called, and the phone was on my mom's side. And I remember I was in the hallway. Their bedroom was at the end of the hallway, and then there was the bathroom. Like their bedroom was at the end of the hallway, and then there was the bathroom on this side, and my sister's room was on this side, and me and my brother's room was on this side. Anyway, and I hear the phone ring, and my mom answers the phone, and I hear, "Yes, who is this?" And it's so I open the door. And she says, Patty who? And she said, I just want to know, is this, she asked, is my father? She's like, yes, he lives here. And she's like, do you know if he's happy? Do you know if he's still married? My mom's like, yes, happily, and hangs up the phone. My dad's high school girlfriend, after like 25 years, called my dad after she got divorced, after her, like, I guess they broke up in high school for whatever reason, and then she got married, and then she got divorced, and she was back looking for my dad. Well, it's also happened with my brother. It's happened with me a few times also. I guess now me and my brother, because there's the internet. But this woman it looked around, I guess, through the yellow page, white pages to find my dad's address and telephone number. Because remember, you might not remember this. Back in the day, they used to print everybody's address and telephone number in the white pages, so you could just look up under last name, and it would say where the people lived. Like now, it's called doxing, but they used to give away people's address for free. There was a number you could call, 411, and you could say, "What's this person's address?" And they'd be like, "It's 67, blah 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 blah," or whatever. Yeah, dang, Buck, I know you're from Sweetheart. I know you're from Streetheart. That's nice, I swear. Night table, Magic Mama. How you doing? I used to hate it when I'm playing online. Yeah, and they were called night tables, yeah. Nightstands is what we called them, the nightstands. I have another dumb creative idea. What is it? Yeah, it's absolutely. I remember the woman's name. I remember my mom saying it. I remember my mom slamming the phone down. You know, it's great. Absolutely great. I feel a bit naughty. When I feel a bit naughty, I run it up the flagpole and pee and see who salutes, but no one ever does. I'm not rich, but I'm not well, and I'm so hard 'cause I'm in hell. Hot. I'm making hamburger right now, and it's going to slice of potatoes. Potatoes into a bun. My parents divorced Lamau. Blowjob. They didn't. Hold on. My parents divorced Lamau. I'm guessing you meant because, but C and J aren't near each other. They didn't really argue either. Oh, Richard. The U is right next to the J. I looked at the V. I'm tired. I looked at the V. Oh, no, I thought it was because. I looked at the C. No, I'm not even thinking the same thing either. Yes, I'm a mad scientist. Yeah, dude, listen. Sometimes that happens. Mine are still together. 56 years this year. 56 years. They got together at 19. My mom was turning 20. I think she was 20. Yeah, she's a year older than my dad. Yeah, my dad was 19, she was 20 when they got married. Where you going, city boy? Richard, don't tell me this is his men think. Just kidding about. I know he's dirty minded. Yeah, right. You're also dirty minded. That's not what men think. That's not how men think. It happens to the best of us. Space cowboy. Let's see. Yeah, life pretty freaking cool. Where are we at? All right, it's 12 o'clock. What are we doing? We going to bed? Lana Del Rey. Oh, Lana Del Rey released a new song yesterday. There's no way in hell I can mess this up. Like I'm the cheese. Oh, like the cheese. Yeah, you did a bad job yesterday. I'm just pulling your leg and being annoying. That's all right. That's all right. Do you recall your favorite dirty joke? Dude, I used to have favorites. Everything, man. Dude, listen. I dated this girl, Allie. And she had the dumb jokes, the dad joke type thing, and I would have the dirty jokes. And I had favorites, and I try to think of them now, and I can't remember them. I can remember all this shit, but I can't remember the dirty jokes. I mean, the pig fell in the mud type stuff, but I can't remember the dirty jokes. I can't even, they don't even pop into my brain cells anymore. It's so weird. Like, I needed them one time in my life, and that's the only time I had those knowledge. Dude, I used to have hundreds of jokes. I used to have, seriously, hundreds. Like, easy. I can't think of one. I can think of Pollock jokes. I'm 49. 50 or 60. How fast am I going? 1977, January 10th, 1977. Who? Jesus! Look at this guy's head. That's got to be AI freaking wackadoo. Uh-oh, here you go. Uh-oh.
The selective outrage from the Democrat Party is absolutely evident. The black woman who was killed on her way to work by that illegal, I haven't heard a single Democrat talk about it.
Close your ears, Castro.
Not a one. Because it doesn't fit their narrative.
I'm not a
But Alex and Renee, oh my goodness, they'll have riots for them. But this innocent black woman who's just minding her business, going to work, killed by an illegal who was fleeing, running from ICE.
Megamind.
He was supposed to be deported a while back. They ain't got nothing to say about it. Nothing. Not a peep. It's crazy.
So, when it's an ICE protester getting unalived by an ICE agent, y'all in the streets protesting, marching, doing all this. But we just had a black woman get unalived in vehicular homicide by a legal immigrant. And the only thing that she was doing was on her way to work.
And he didn't even call him an alien.
As a special needs teacher.
Not a baby boomer.
On her way to work, and she got plowed into by an illegal immigrant who was fleeing ICE. on a deportation order since 2024.
That's Biden.
So, where y'all at? I need to hear something. I don't see y'all. I don't see these politicians talking about her. Why y'all not talking about Linda?
Because they don't care. Politics 11 p.m. here, girl. I mean, people are dying. It's sad. It's important to talk about, of course. Right, but this is what they're talking about here is selective outrage. The Democrats that are pro BLM argue and yell when pretty and good get killed, but not when a black woman gets killed. They're the racists. I'm not a baby boomer. What am I? When's baby boomer start? What year is that? I thought that was like to the 60s. What year is the baby boomer generation? Yeah, 1964. I'm 77. Here's the 6 generations. The silent generation is 1928 to 1945. Baby boomers are 46 to 64. Gen X is 65 to 80. Millennials are 81 to 96. Gen Z is 97 to 2012. And Gen Alpha is 2013 to present. I care more about monkeys than the world cares about acting like monkeys. I agree. Hey, I agree too. And it's crazy, like the way people want to argue about. I'm 49 January. I just turned 49 January 10th. Brianna. Also, they didn't have double standards. Also, 11 p.m. I'm slightly outraged depending on the time of day. I'm too tired to think about it. Yeah. Listen, and this is the thing. You have to understand that it's all acting. It's all bullcrap. They don't care. They care if it, like this is the way politicians think. Somebody says, "Sir, there's a problem." What's the problem? Blah 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 blah. Do we have enough money to fix it? How does it make me look if we fix it? And a businessman says, "Sir, there's a problem." What's the problem? Blah, 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 blah. Do we have the money to fix it? Yes. Then why aren't you fixing it? And that's the difference between people. And remember, Donald Trump was a Democrat until 2016 when he switched sides to go. So the sides don't matter. You got to follow your own morals. And you have Democrats running as Republicans and Republicans running as Democrats. And they just expect us all to be so stupid because we are. That people will just feel like Democrat, right down the line, and there's going to be Republicans stacked in there, and same thing on the Democrat or the Democrat side, Republican side. Baby boomers are greedy. They do be greedy. We Gen X, baby, magic mama. We're the dark age. Install the new age. Welcome to the new age. Is that what you're saying? Welcome to the dark age. Install the new. Is that it? Double standards are everywhere, no matter where you look. Right, exactly. So don't ruin your life over it. This is my point. Don't go out and be a wackadoo for somebody else's fight. Because you'll have fights that you'll need for yourself and be alive for those. That's what's really important. Do you recall my Instagram feed is filled with racist content? Because most racist content is made by the race that's in the content. People used to like making fun of each other because it was bonding, but they wanted everybody to stay 6 feet apart and not look at each other in the eyes. It's also, Mr. President, there's a problem. I know how to fix it. $5 billion Israel. No, I don't want to be angry before it's bad. Don't get angry. My anger won't be angry, but mentally stimulated in this way. It happens. I don't follow either side, Republican, Democrat, but I can tell what's right. Right. And that's the problem. It's like saying blacks and whites. It's not black and white. It's good people and bad people. You got to find out who's a good person and who's deceiving you, because there's going to be evil liars. And it's not hard to find out, but it's up to you to do so. It only takes seconds to look it up, and look it up from actual sources. If somebody posts a number, don't just say, "Oh, 28% of people think Richard's good looking." Yeah. No, go and say and look what the source gets it from, and it'll say 28% of the 29 people that we asked, or whatever, said this, that we asked in this school, in this Democrat area or this Republican area. And that's how they fluff the numbers. They only ask 100 people, and then they say 70% of people, or like 25% of the people that I work with, and this is how it's absolutely crazy. Everyone has to realize that we're still kings and queens. Everyone has to realize that we are still in kings and queen times and still being taxed and being more than, yes, right, absolutely, 100%. Identifying problems are one thing. Agreeing on solutions are another. Cowboy lies and money and problems are faked. So problems are faked and solutions are faked. So you'll see a lot of times people will make something that's not a problem, and then they'll say donate to this cause. But then you look up who owns that nonprofit, and it's freaking wackadoo's husband or wife or whatever, and they're just putting money into their pockets, and they're not even trying to hide it because they'll donate 5%. You look at the donation numbers, and you see they'll be like, okay, $1 million donated, 900,000 of it went to administrative costs, the cost of paying the people who work at the nonprofit, and then 100,000 went to teaching fish how to swim or whatever. Thank you for stuffing on words. I don't know what stuffing means. Thank you, stuffing. Stuffing. What's a stuffing? Stoofing? Stupid ongoing wars. Is that what you're trying to say? Stuffing sad? I'm so confused. Thank you. I'm gonna think you're saying stop ongoing wars. You realize we choose our representatives and you say the way opposite kings and queen time, right? But they're so when they get in office, they absolutely, they want to be treated like that. They don't feel like elected officials. They feel like they rule us. So I have to agree. I agree with both of you. But yes, times you wouldn't live or work or go and get paid as a serf, a student. Thanks, you student of war. Lol, they were talking to me. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Teaching fish how to swim. You know what? I say something funny every once in a while because it's basically what's going on. They try to teach humans how to not be human. And then when they act that way, they say, oh, there's something wrong with you. But luckily, we have this place set up to fix you. And it's so freaking nutty. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Damn, this War Game Z. Well, yeah, I think I played that the other a couple of months ago. You talking about the online version? Which one are you playing? World War Z? Oh no, maybe not. World War Z. Game. Yeah, World War Z. Okay, no, I don't think I ever played that. I'm thinking of the online one. Yeah, no, I've never played this. I've never played it. Is that a pregnant person? I can't see what that is. Are you drinking vodka? I don't drink vodka. I don't drink no liquor. I mean, I will if somebody wants to come kiss me on my lips or something and brings a bottle of wine or something. Oh, you've played it? Politics is a hard game, too. Oh, you're drinking vodka. I'm at the stage. If I try, I'm going to be putting on emojis. I'm at the stage if tired. Jeez, you can't type either. I brought today. I'm having a blast. Oh, you bought it today. Gotcha. It was saying me drinking vodka. Gee, I'm losing it. It's hard as pulling teeth. Yeah. I remember the movie. I worked on World War Z 2. I don't know if it ever came out. I think they just spent like $5, $6, $7 million on us building sets, and then they canceled it. So I don't know if they ever finished it though. World War Z2. Oh, they did make it. Okay, never mind. They did make it. Yeah, 2026 this year. It says 2026. Okay, yeah. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I wonder if I'm in the credits. Probably not. I didn't stay long enough. I cannot tote as well as I'm tired. I cannot tote as well. Someone buy a bottle of wine for him. Kiss me on the lips. Do you recall how much you spent on fuel in the last year? Not $40 probably. No, probably more of that in the beginning of the year. Probably $200. Project Zombioid is the most in-depth game I've ever played. Doorknob can have 30 options if you right-click on it. Is this indie? Is this an indie game? They have Walking Dead DLC. Oh, I keep thinking you guys can see what I see. Do you see what I see? It looks like an old school, dude. Dude, this looks like an old school game. That looks awesome. Orthographic. Orthographic? Yeah, orthographic. I think it's called. Oh, yeah, that looks awesome. Wow. Project Zombioid. Let's see who made it. Isometric. Did I say isometric? I made some mods. I got a few thousand downloads. Hey, there you go. Yeah, man. Hey, make something. Absolutely. They finally have redhead emojis. Are you redheaded? Do you recall your favorite? So I've actually met a bunch. I know it sounds sexist. The guys seem pretty chill. The women are nuts, dude. Like, and I can understand. I understand the drugs and everything. I understand. But dude, man, it's regarded as the best survival game ever. So, and here's a big problem, like with the drugs. The what the men do and what the women do are two different things, because the men can't perform on the drugs that the women do, but the freaking brain, they have doomsday mods. It's regarded as the best survival game ever. Zombie stuff is a bonus. Oh, okay, it was indie. British Canadian independent developer, the Indian Stone is there. Okay, wow, one guy. Lightweight Java game engine. Wow, he made it with lightweight Java game engine. That's freaking crazy. Okay, two people. Oh, it's composers. No, developer, Indie Stone. Where's this stuff on that? Development. Indie Stone. Game has been something I always wanted to make in their dream game. They felt it would be unable to do the time commitments. Change after Minecraft, which showed them another way to develop a game. Quicker result. They have stated the main inspiration was zombie movies, right? Sure. The game was released as an alpha demo in 2011. Wow. Written in Java for portability using JWJLGL June 2011. After the game's released pre-alpha, the game was leaked. Unauthorized copies spread. Unauthorized version enabled downloading from Project Zombioid servers and the press update button. Now, rather, the user already had the latest version to avoid paying for these downloads. The Indie Stone took the customer-only paid version offline instead of released a free public demo for that day. Apartment, two of the developers were broken into. The apartment was broken into, and the laptops containing the game code, which had not been backed up, was stolen, resulting in severe delays. Due to these setbacks, they gave a presentation of how not to make a video game, going over some of the lessons. In 2013, it was released as Steam multiplayer game mode. In 2014, it ultimately removed with them performance issues on the multiplayer. The amount of concurrent players on Steam is rose to 14. Retooled multiplayer, updated combat, redefined customization. Wow, that's pretty freaking cool. I hate orthographic and I love the same time. Wait, what? Women nuts, me nuts, no, never nuts. Do you recall why I'm still awake? I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Vegas has huge convention for dolphin acts, and they scary. Yeah, they're scary. You have to understand. We think of adult actors and actresses like, oh, OnlyFans, some chick doing it. No. It's absolutely run by the mafia. Absolutely. And there's a lot of really like even just to get to the point, if you're a popular porn star, you've been through some stuff. Like, it's not your first day on the job. I mean, it's basically Saturday. Yeah. And most of it goes back to addiction. Most of it is addiction, or it's human trafficking, and that's one of the other big huge things. You've got people like there's if you're a man and you've been on any dating apps, you'll know a lot of times you'll swipe, and then somebody will be like, ding, hey, you look cute, blah blah blah. Here's my OnlyFans. And it's just like, and then it's like, you start looking into this stuff and you're like, these people are all out of one city and they're all, it's just straight up prostitution. You get a bunch of people that try to come, it's rough. You know, they're like they don't even know the country that they're in, let alone how to feed themselves in these countries, and they all like, yeah, it's absolutely enough. I can choose the traits and hindrances. I didn't have a mic, so I chose deaf and played as a deaf dude, only talking sign language. What time is it for you guys? It's 12:23 here, Brianna. We up late. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Peas and carrots. The dude always have to do the gay stuff eventually. Yeah, well, they do that on purpose. Listen, when they sign the women up, the women fill out a form of what they will and what they won't do. And then they lower their prices and say you're not popular enough. And then after the addiction part kicks in, and then they're like, well, maybe I'll, just a little bit. And they break them, and they want to break them. It's a whole big power play on the men and the women. If they don't do gay stuff, they're homophobic. It can't work. Gay, right. No, that's a big thing too, right? And that's the control thing. The homophobic, transphobic. It's all because somebody wants to manipulate you. They want you to do what they want you to do, and so they'll try to call you, racist or transphobic or homophobic, and you're like, well, it has nothing to do with any of that. It's crazy. Is that gooning is masturbation, from what I can gather? Yeah. Gooning is self pleasure. If they don't do it, yeah, and it's absolutely so like back in the day when I was a youth, you'd have a lot like there was a big thing that came out about 5-6 years ago. Maybe it was like 8 years ago. You heard sex work is real work. And it was like they opened the doors, and this was when the guy that was running OnlyFans wanted to stop allowing adult content on OnlyFans, so they fired him and hired a woman, and then they said, no, let these girls do whatever they want. Come on, women, do whatever you want. Sex work is real work. And then I know a lot of people that left the planet because of that stuff. A lot. They don't have AIDS. They probably do. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's rough. But people don't understand. They don't understand what they're getting themselves into. Just because there's not mob movies and stuff, and you don't hear reports. But look what happened now. Trump gets in office, and the first mob arrest in 30 years or something happens. Mob or gambling arrests. Mob. Oh, it doesn't give me a hoojaba. But anyway, it's Sports Mafia time. This is November 13th, 2025. 14 charged in mafia-backed betting ring involving athletes. So they got all these apps, and they set up there was these gambling apps where you could bet on how people do, not how the team does. And that was all set up by the mob so that you could say, Richard's gonna freaking score 3 points in the first quarter or whatever. But you could also say they would be injured, so they would work with the basketball players and say, be injured on this day, be injured. So if you clicked on there a week in advance, he'll be injured, $50, blah blah blah. So they were rigging everything. Everything's a lie. If you don't get in there, you'll never work in this town again. You're like, what did I do? Look up Maynards. That sounds familiar. I don't know why, but I can't think what it is. Midwest. He built the company, the third largest home improvement chain in the U.S. Over 350 stores, holding $22 billion as of 2025. 1970, by building pole barns. What did he do? I don't see any drama yet. Let me see. Is he a Democrat? Look, people ask, is he a Democrat or Republican? It's so crazy. Major Republican donor. I can't shop there anymore. You hear about the baseball player who made a bet on himself, got in trouble for it. Are you talking about Pete Rose? Save big money at Maynard's. He makes $330,000 a year. I think it should be legal to bet on themselves, but only to win. If they bet to lose, they can lose on purpose. That's fraud. Yeah, right. That's the problem, though, right? Because it would have to be the individual person. But yeah, that's the thing. It's a scam. So how many people, like key players, took a knee to in order to win a couple $100,000, $1 million or whatever, you know? Look up Maynard CEO drama. That's not. I think it's maybe okay. I'll look. I think complaints from employees and stuff. Kind of drama. Deceptive advertising. Look at that. Deceptive advertising. And the thing is, this has been a law for since the 1970s, but they stopped enforcing it in the after the early 2000s. It used to be if they lied to you, but somebody has to turn them in. Okay, deceptive marketing. 10 states. Maynard's reached 4.25 million multi-state settlements, but how much did they make? A multi-United state, 10 states, including Wisconsin, Illinois, and Ohio. Yes, y'all. Now deceptively marketed is 11% off everything, misleading customers into believing they were receiving an instant discount at the register. Historical drama. Known for a tight grip on his privately owned company, faced ex-fiance, former fiance sued him in 2008 because she owed her compensation for work. Sexual harassment. A lawsuit filed in 2013 from Tommy Sue Hilbert, wife of former business partner, tried to extort sex from her, alleging he demanded she join him and his wife for sex acts or face financial consequences. 2025, security guard was reported that security guard contacted Maynard's store was fired after a brutal immigration raid at the location. The employee claims managers demanded the staff delete footage of the incident. Wow. I had a dream where I was exploring nature and I suddenly end up in an Amish village. And I show them my electric scooter and they unalive me. I wasn't a big mega donor for the Dems. Yes, yeah, a lot of them were. That's a big thing. That's a big thing that's coming out now. Yeah, me, I just wanted to show my friends. Uh-oh. I thought I was going to sneeze. Okay, I guess not. This is the thing. The reason politics got so messy and so highly financial is because so many people didn't want Trump to expose the Epstein thing because he ran on saying that he would. So you had a bunch of people that didn't want their name to come out that were like, no, don't. Here's a bunch of money, you win. How do you know Bucky? Oh, it's all over the news. Yeah. They talk about it all the time here in America. Good morning from the UK, brother. Hope you're well. Hey, what up, Pinak? What up, my brother? Thank you. Doing very well. Thank you, my friend. It's been a couple days. Amish are honest, goodness, good. Yo, absolutely. I personally know Amish people. He lives in Ohio. Yeah. No, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, it's pretty well known here in the United States, ND. I bet Amish people have maniacs as well. Sure, dude. Yeah, there's murders. They're pretty nice. A lot of Amish people in Wisconsin driving the countryside. They get drunk. A lot of them get really drunk. They make their own moonshine. I have not seen the Epstein file documentary. I'm going to wait until it all comes out. Yeah, me too. This is my point, or my thing about the Epstein files. We were lied to so long saying that Trump was doing bad things in the Epstein files, and then it comes out and it was the complete opposite. So there's a lot of people on the left and the right saying things about people on the left and the right because the rest of the files haven't come out yet. So I'm not gonna freaking join that fire. You live in Ohio? I could never. Why did Trump repeatedly say stop talking about Epstein? So the only information I got about that, Robert, was him being in the, not that Epstein files were a hoax, it was him doing bad things in the Epstein files was a hoax. And this is a problem with how words are twisted and stuff. I agree that was absolutely crazy. But what we got is the evidence we got, right? So basically, he definitely shouldn't have said it that way. He shouldn't have said that the Epstein files are a hoax. But him doing bad stuff in the files was a hoax, is what he corrected. But yeah, I agree. It's freaking, but a politician, right? What's good with Ohio? Freaking crackers and stuff. Mormons are the crazier ones with polygamy. And yes, Mormons can get crazy, absolutely. Why did Democrats still they sat on him for years? Because a lot of the big donors were in it. And look, you got Prince Andrew just got arrested yesterday on his 66th birthday because of the Epstein files. So it looks like people are getting arrested. Will he go to jail for it? I doubt it. I mean, like prison, I doubt it. But that's what we're used to. He has complete control of the evidence, though, and the redactions. Right now, right, and this is why I don't want to disrupt friendships, and I want to make sure people understand that they shouldn't be tearing apart their families and hating their grandparents because of we don't know what's true, and we're only gonna know the evidence they give us. And the big thing is the Democrats didn't put it out. They could, if Democrats wanted to trash Trump, they could have released the files during when the Democrats had control, and they didn't. So it makes people believe if they had anything on Trump, it would have come out. Baal is lame. Donald Trump has recently been interviewed by British TV channel ITV and seen living proof of aliens. And asked if he had seen living proof of aliens, and apparently someone's been giving out classified information. Yeah, President Obama gave out classified information. If Democrats had anything on Trump, it would have leaked by now. Yeah, and this is the way I think about it. I agree. So they're so dirty. Both of them, the Republicans and Democrats, are so underhanded and dirty. They would have freaking put it on the front page of the New York Times. Yeah. You got arrested. My grandparents are very blue politically, funny enough. So yeah, I have a Democrat mom and a Republican dad. Prince Andrew actually has been arrested. A lot of them are, Cat. The Democrats also had complete control. Right. That's complete control. House, Senate, and House, Senate, and presidency. I forget Republican and Democrat. Because, right, that's what you have to understand. It's good versus evil. Because you have fake Democrats running as Republicans. Fake Democrat running as Republican. Right? So you have this right here. You have this here. And this is someone who's saying it. So how many people aren't? Right? So this is why you shouldn't just vote down the party lines. You should vote for people you know and understand. I'm not saying Republicans, I'm just saying should scrutinize the conference of the evidence. Like, yes, no, I'm not, I didn't mean you. I'm talking about in general, right? Like because we don't know. And from all the evidence we have now, the biggest piece of evidence or the biggest three are his names in the files because he called the cops on Epstein. The Democrats didn't release anything when they had power to squash him. And I forgot what the third thing was, but hold on, here's this. And I understand it's all wackadoo. That's why I don't like. And there's so many other people in there. There's so much horrid shit. And this is what I'm talking about deception right here.
Real Republican. Like, I'm telling people the truth. I knock on a door and I say I'm running in the Republican primary, but I'm not a Republican. I'm a progressive. I'm running as a Republican in the Republican primary for Congressional District 14 because that is where the actual competition happens in our gerrymandered district. It happens in the primaries. Like, if you're in a district that is a lock for Democrats, that Democratic primary is where the competition is. And quite frankly, while the can't win strategy is about building for the long term and like building our bench and being ready for fair maps in 2030, we got to fucking win right now because we are
So Democrat, Republican doesn't matter. Whoever she's aligned with in business and what others, she just needs to win. and she's saying it, but how many people aren't? So this is why when I'm talking about like, and everybody's a liar, she's just being honest about the deception, but she's still being deceptive, because how many people are Republicans are going to go in this state, and when the election happens, they're just going to mark Republican, and so they're not even going to know that she's not a real Republican. So that's what I'm saying. I agree, Robert. Question everything. Don't confidently deny or accept all the files. Find the ones that have photo evidence of things. Redactions are a lot of that. Can we please have another top fun policy tomorrow? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can get it out of our systems today. Yeah, no, absolutely, my brother. Absolutely. I agree with you too. I agree. But a lot of people care about it. It affects a lot of people's lives. So yeah, I can understand. But yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I gotta get myself to bed anyway. But yeah, we all good people here, so we make it happen. But I love y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. And don't get yourself in trouble. Love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.